so keep that in mind.
Yeah, hey, forget I asked.
That'll definitely do.
Ew. Join the Discord.
It was the least fun I've ever had playing this game.
A small but vibrant and extremely humble community.
No, I've seen the sleeves, but I'm like, you said you're suiting up, and then you put your sleeve on. Thank you for saying that.
Because I'm a demon on the keys.
Next thing I know, we're both dead. I immediately left the lobby.
In Vietnam.
What are they playing for? Are they playing to win?
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
We are absolutely broadcasting in real time. Some might refer to that as, of course, live. Welcome to... How's my background noise, Tanner?
It's serviceable.
Okay. Because I hear my AC unit anyway. Shockingly. Welcome to the program, the Dropshot, the Call of Duty podcast, episode number 149. My name is
almost
Casey.
the big 150.
It is almost the big 150, also known as Razinon. And I am joined once again in a surprise turn of events by alcoholic who fled rehab early. I know that we said Tanner went to go pump water in Zion, but in fact it was him getting his stomach pumped at a hospital because he was, of course, on the verge of alcohol poisoning. Tanner, welcome back. I see you sipping some whiskey. Rehab has not been going well for you, I take it. Tell us all about it.
It's crazy because all those bottles of whiskey we had, you finished yours a month before mine.
That's
right?
super interesting.
I mean, what are you drinking off stream? How embarrassing. That's alcoholism right there. But
well, for
hello,
sure,
I'm
keep
here.
that in mind. Yeah, welcome back.
I'm here,
How was Zion?
It was Yosemite and it was fine. We were there for 24 hours basically, but it was fine.
What do you do in Yosemite? What is there to do? Like hang glide? Bungee jump?
Hang glide.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
We
mostly went.
Right?
We mostly went because Sierra was doing a shoot there. Well, she booked the shoot after. It was like a trip that we had planned with her friends, but like we were originally going to stay in the park, and then that didn't happen because it was all full. It's a long story, but we had to stay like an hour and a half outside of the park. So it wasn't a long trip, but it was fine. And now we can go back and do it however we want and stay longer. So yeah, it was fun.
Would you classify what you just described, which sounds awful. It sounds like internment to me. It sounds like a trip to Manzanar to me, but would you describe that?
I've been to Manzanar, by the way.
Well, they should have kept you as a vacation.
No, not really. This wasn't, no.
Okay, because that didn't sound like a vacation to me. So I'm glad we agree on that topic for sure. Did you listen to the Lavoxino broadcast?
Nope. I got to the point where he was explaining why his name was that, and I had to turn it off, right?
So you're not a fan of the name. Is that what I'm being told?
Not a fan of the name, not a fan of the podcast. Yeah, not a fan of anything, really. Not a fan of you. Yep.
That's super interesting. Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll have you know, I am talking to Lavoxino about permanently taking your position. So,
perfect. Let's go.
We'll see how those talks go. What?
Perfect
Warzone?
timing. Warzone patch notes are out.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So welcome to the show, boys and girls. Tanner's back for the time being. We'll see how long that lasts. Today we have quite an episode, actually. We are on the cusp of the Season 4 Reloaded patch. So we've got a torrent of information for you guys on that. We also have a number of announcements, some of which are actually very exciting, mainly one. So this is going to be a pretty big ep. It's going to be, as I said, fun and exciting, so strap the fuck in. And before we get underway, a couple announcements. First, welcome to our new Platinum patrons, Real Kings. Cameron H, keep it. Awesome. You put your name. That's fantastic. X-Pooks, change it. And it's ruined. X-Pooks, absolutely change it. The avatar, by the way, looks like you're wearing a fucking trench coat. Change that too. Change that too. I hope you live in Manhattan where you don't have access to weapons. That's what I'm gathering from your avatar. But welcome, I suppose. I'm kidding. Welcome, buddy. Venom as well, all caps. Let's ease off the caps lock. And Elkhound, friend of the program, coming back, I believe. Our new platinum patrons. Boys, much appreciated. Very kind of you. Patreon.com/the Dropshot. Now, why join at platinum? Well, we do 5 bonus eps a month for the platinum rather than 4 for everyone, including gold. And maybe you've heard us talk about the Patreon before and you're like, well, kind of on the fence about this. Not sure if I'm interested in the Patreon. I wish I could get a free sample. Hey, dude, you can get a free sample, okay? I'm here for you, dude. So what Tanner and I decided to do was publicly release an episode from the Patreon on YouTube and in your stupid fucking ears. And if you're listening on a podcast app, you will have seen, in fact, we uploaded that before this episode. So you can take a listen to that. That is a bonus episode. We did that one maybe 3 weeks to a month ago. And the topic of that particular episode was about our kind of prognostications on Vanguard and how that will change Warzone. So it is still very relevant at this time because nothing new has been learned in that span. So it's just as topical now if you listen as it was when we released that episode. So again, if you've been on the fence about the Patreon or not and you say I'm never paying you, fine. But hey, there's another episode for you. There's 3 this week. But if you really like it, you want more like it, that is literally just a Patreon episode. We do 5 a month. You could join up. $5 a month, you get 4 a month. Pretty accessible if you have internet, I would say. So, and it's how we are funded, is the Patreon. Otherwise, we would be not here. Put it that way. So, really appreciate, really love all the patrons, and we encourage you guys, if you're on the fence, to check out that episode. Think about joining. But Cam, Pooks, Venom, Elk, thank you, boys, for signing up. Now, also, Slivovitz contributed a very generous 100 fucking United States dollars to the broadcast, dude. So Sliv sponsored the tournament, which we'll get into, and then he threw in an extra $100 and he said, hey, here's some beer money or something.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I was like, hey, dude, awesome, fantastic. So I will not be giving Tanner any of this money, but Sliv, hey, thanks, dude. No, seriously, Sliv, I really appreciate it. That is extremely generous of you, young king. Slivovitz, one of our longest listeners, a very ardent, generous supporter. We're getting a live chat message from Slivovitz. In fact, he said, buy sheets with that money. I already did, bud. I already did. I bought sheets 5 days ago that are on my bed right now. In fact, they feel
cool.
Fine, just like my other sheets did. They do feel better though. I'll give it to you. But
sure.
Yeah, anyways, Sliv, very generous, man. Really, really fucking appreciate that. That is super helpful. And it means a lot. So thank you, dude. Really kind of you. Now, Tanner, anything from you?
Oh yeah, I did have something. Hold on, let me find it. Hold on. Thank you, Get Scammed. He gave me a 1,200 offline biddies. And he says, bills, bills, bills. Someone's got to pay them. True. True.
F's in the chat for Grammy.
Yeah, F's in the chat for Grammy. I'm probably going to have to get a job next month. It's fine. We'll figure it out. You know the vibes, right? Get scammed, thanks, buddy. And yeah, Slivo, thanks for that that $100 for beer money. I'll never see it, of course. I got scammed, but
Correct.
thanks for
Yeah, that is, of
thanks for
course,
the
true.
thought. It's a nice thought.
It was a nice thought. And no good deed, of course, goes unpunished. So thank you, Sliv.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, that's a joke, by the way. Relax. It's in the spreadsheet. Now,
It's not.
It is, but I can remove it if you want. Once again, yeah. The Patreon episode is live for everyone. Go check it out. It's on the YouTube as well, by the way. It will be a featured video if you are a returning subscriber. So you can find that. You can find all these links at thedropshot.com. We have our YouTube there. You can see the video version of the podcast episode, the Patreon episode there. I will be shirtless. Fair warning. I am not burdened by the oppressive, draconian terms of service that Twitch employs. And on YouTube videos, I can just be shirtless and free, dude. So that's what I am. So
Isn't that crazy? You
You've
can't.
been warned.
You have to wear a shirt, but there's hot tub streams out there. Isn't that nuts?
It's actually outrageous. Yeah.
Twitch is such an embarrassing platform. They
Twitch
don't know
is
what they're
cringe
doing.
as fuck,
YouTube's
yeah.
getting better every day too.
We're gonna be getting off Twitch shortly and going to YouTube. It's that simple. Yeah, but we'll not that shortly. Relax. But yeah. So check that out. It's on YouTube and it's on the feed. Also for Platinum and Damascus patrons, the bonus 5th Q&A episode for July will be live tomorrow. If you're here live, it'll be live tomorrow, the 15th, 3 a.m. Pacific time before you go to work. And if you're hearing this on a podcast app, the Patreon episode's already live. The Q&A one. Now, if you're a gold patron, you won't hear that. So upgrade, obviously, of course. And also, we will not be having another Patreon episode this week because we wanted to wait until Season 4 Reloaded. So you're still going to get your 5 a month, but we're going to backload them because we want to record episodes after all these changes because Season 4 was woefully unimpressive, which we've talked about and we'll perhaps talk about a little more. Also, reminder, we did not do a gameplay stream on Tuesday, so instead we opted again to do these gameplay streams after the update. Tomorrow we're going to be streaming Warzone, and I'll say it now. If in the first 3 games I die to a cheater, I'm done. I will not play. Now, if we get a cheater on game 4, fine, sure. But if
We're going to get a cheater.
If we
within
get
3.
If I die in the first match to someone running at me backwards with a riot shield, hip firing 180 degrees away from me and killing me, see ya. Gone.
Yeah, what are we going to do? We can just play zombies then, I guess.
We could do anything else. We'll stay on stream, but it won't be Warzone. We'll do multiplayer, we'll do fucking Minecraft, we'll play The Sims, we'll LARP. We will drink. There's a lot of things we could do.
Well, you're an alcoholic. I'm not.
Well, but Warzone just won't be one of them. I'm not getting fucking boated all day tomorrow. So we are hoping the update tonight, they do something. They of course won't, but hopefully they will. And Warzone will be playable tomorrow because Warzone has of course been in the worst state I've ever seen it in ever. Now that I can't tell you that from experience because I trust everyone online. Not that this is a shocking claim because they are saying Warzone is in the worst state it's ever been in right now. So I just haven't been playing. I'm not playing. I'm not gonna die to cheaters every fucking other game at best for 2 weeks straight. No, I'll wait. I'll wait until the problem is resolved and it's that simple. And you've been in the same boat, is that right, Tanner?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, buddy.
Yeah. So.
It's not interested.
Not interested. So anyways, whatever. So we're going to try a Warzone stream tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to do a zombie stream on the new map, Mauer der Tuten or whatever. I don't specken the Deutsch. I don't specko the Deutsch. I don't know how to conjugate
the name's
verbs.
a change it.
The name is, of course, a change it. Yeah. Change the language, really, not just the name. But we will be streaming the new Zombies map on Friday. I'm actually quite excited for this. the AI will not cheat, or at least not as well as they do in fucking Verdansk, so that'll be cool. And also, I haven't played zombies in quite a while, and it's been long enough to where zombies sounds fun again. So we're going to be doing that on Friday. Part of the impetus for that, too, is that we can have a couple shandies, some loggers in the daytime on Friday while we're playing
Why
zombies.
do you have to get specific? Just say we can have some drinks.
Well,
Don't stop using
no.
shandies and loggers, because I'm not going to drink a shandy or lager. I don't have either of those things.
Because, Tanner, it is shandy season, and that is not in my control. It's out of my hands.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It just is shandy season.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to the people or you and say it's not shandy season.
Somebody send us shandies then to the exclamation point P.O. box.
I mean, it's shandy season. That's just a fact. And it's summer, and it'll be the daytime. So I'll be drinking a shandy or a lager. And the reason we're doing this on Friday is, or the reason we're doing zombies on Friday is so that during the day, have a couple lagers or shandies. It's shandy season. It's out of my control. And then we can just roll that into the Patreon hangout where all the patrons are welcome to come vibe, chat, chill, and just keep drinking for 20 hours. That is the plan. And because you guys all know you can't drink and play Warzone. If you want to consume drugs to play Warzone, alcohol isn't one of them. Amphetamines are what you would want, and we don't have those on deck exclamation point P.O. box to change that, of course. So we're going to do zombies on Friday so we can drink and then just roll it right into the hangout. And I'm very excited. Friday's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll be cool. Who are we playing zombies with, Tanner?
I don't know. Jake and somebody else.
Jake and somebody else. Interesting.
Jake and a person, yeah.
Jake and a person. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. You know the vibes. So that is what we're doing. We may have said that we're doing Warzone customs on Friday. We're not. Get scammed. Sorry. Not sorry, though, but sorry. But not sorry, though, right? We had...
I don't think we said that.
I think I might have said it, but...
Yeah, you're a fucking moron, so...
Well, this isn't a democracy. So, we're not doing customs tomorrow. We're just going to hang out. We're just going to drink, have fun. It'll be more fun anyway, trust me. So if you wanted to do customs, we'll do them at a time, but it won't be on Friday. So
maybe the next week.
Maybe the next week or the week after. I know people want to do it in an evening, but anyways,
yeah,
whatever.
We'll do it next week.
We'll figure it out. So up next, details for the tournament. This is not all of the details, but we have a lot more information for you guys. The Dropshot Invitational number 3 is the tournament, of course. Now, once again, the date, Saturday, August 21st, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Rebirth Island Resurgence Trios Tournament. This is in no particular order. You have to be a patron. Reverse boosting is no longer allowed. Now, is this enforceable?
And...
Is this enforceable? No. But it's not, but now it's not allowed, so don't do it. New accounts not allowed. So yeah, new accounts not allowed. Cheating obviously not allowed. It will be capped at the number of people who can be in 2 full lobbies minus a slot for GOAT or a team for GOAT. So that's going to be either 84 or like 76. But we'll iron out the details. But about 80 people is going to be the cap. That's 2 full Rebirth lobbies minus a slot for GOAT or me to start the lobby. The signups are closing August 14th, 7 p.m. Pacific time. That is a week before the tournament. If you try to sign up a minute after that, not happening. Will not allow it. So here's another rule. There will be no leniency on any rule. I'm laying this out fucking 6 weeks in advance. We're going to have a written document. We're going to be very detailed and specific. And if you fuck something up, see ya. So keep in mind, signups close August 14th, 7 p.m. If we get 80 people or whatever before August 14th, then guess what? The signups are closed before August 14th. Because we don't have more slots to fill. That's how that works. So I've explicitly said it now, okay? So sign up early and before the deadline and before it fills up. I don't expect it to fill up, but I didn't expect it to fill up last time either. So sign up soon.
You just have no faith in these people, dude.
Correct. I absolutely don't.
It's disgusting, actually.
Not. Especially after last disaster. So you sign up before it fills up or before the deadline. We will not be adding a third lobby. It will not happen. Don't maul at me. Sign up soon. So there you go. Teams will be solidified by GOAT by August 16th, 7 p.m. Pacific time. That actually doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah. So I'm going to cancel this. I'll say that by August 16th, every team will be confirmed. We'll make sure all the shit checks out. The KD cap is going to be raised to 4.5. So before our last tournament, we had a combined cap of 4.25. We are raising it slightly to 4.5. So we're going to add up the KD, the Warzone KD of all 3 participants on a team. It has to be less than or equal to 4.50. So a little bit higher this time, a little more leeway, but not much higher. However, a 0.25 increase is pretty substantial. If your personal KD went up 0.25, you would be very happy with that. Tanner, why are you making a dumb fucking face?
Because I thought we were going to get into saying, if you're good, then just get fucked. You're still not going to be able to play in the tournament. Because it's still 4.5, but whatever. Talking about Jake. If you're good and your KD is over 3, get scammed. Go play in the World Series of Warzone, right? You're too good for our tournament.
Literally,
It's
actually. This KD cap only negatively affects one person, and it's Jake. And
Yeah.
Jake likes burger
Literally
smoothies,
just one.
So, actually, literally just one. So that doesn't matter.
And he does like burger smoothies. He said
And
it's
by
fine.
the way,
yeah.
he could still play in this tournament. 4.5 does give him some more headway. But anyways, whatever. 4.5. Also, new rule, kind of. No shotguns, launchers, special category, or melee weapons will be allowed out of the gulag. So you can't put it in a loadout. You can't pick it up as ground loot. Use it once. See ya. Your entire team's disqualified from the round. Once again, there will be no lenience. There will be no leeway, and there will be no wiggle room. If you pick up a shotgun and you fire it into a wall, see ya. Disqualified from the round. There will be no wiggle room. Don't use it. Pick up Cali sticks, pick up a riot shield, hit a wall with it, see ya. Disqualified from the round. You're not going to be ejected from the tournament, but that round won't count. So don't pick them up, or you will be DQ'd from that round. Now, here's what's going to happen. Someone's going to do it.
You.
Someone's going to do it. Someone's going to pick up a Model 680. They're going to hit someone and do 1 point of damage. They will be disqualified. And then they're going to say, but it didn't even change anything. Don't care. That's not how rules work. Obey the rule. Don't pick it up. And everything's fine. There will be no penumbral edge case cases here. Simple. Don't touch it, or you're DQ'd from the round. See ya. That's simple. I will come down on you like a biblical swarm of locusts. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't do it. No wiggle room here. So that melee, launcher, special category, or shotguns, all completely banned. If you get it in the gulag, you can use it. That's the only time, though. So you can't pick it up, can't put it in a loadout. Now, let me go scream at my dog. Tanner, if you need to do it, say anything, you can.
Nope. I don't think I need to say anything. You can go yell at your dumb dogs, though. There won't be a gulag anyway, so it doesn't matter. But so if you're about to get first place, right, and we see you with a shotgun, your team is about to win the game and you do 1 point of damage, disqualified. You can lose the entire tournament. It's that simple. If there's nothing, hey, if you land and there's 2 weapons, there's a shotgun and there's an AR, and somebody on the other team picks up an AR, stand there and let them kill you. Don't grab the shotgun or you're disqualified.
You just lose.
Lose.
Yeah, here's what the rule is going to be. If you accidentally pick up one of these weapons, that's fine. If you shoot or discharge it, even if you do no damage, you're disqualified. So I'm not kidding. If you pick up a launcher and shoot it at your own feet, your entire team gets 0 points for that round. Even if you don't hit anyone. Even for any reason. But if you accidentally pick it up, don't swing it or block with it or fire it and you drop it, then that's fine. But it has to be inside of 5 seconds that you have to drop it. Or see ya. So, well, I could see people picking up, like, I guess sticks don't spawn.
You could pick up a shotgun all you want and run around with it for 5 minutes. If you fire it at somebody, though, you're disqualified.
No, that's going to be too hard to watch. No, you have to drop it inside of 5 seconds. You can't
watch it anyways. How are we going to watch every person?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well,
we're going to have to base it off of if somebody gets killed by one, mostly.
If we
or
see
if the
you
people
doing
are spectating.
Yeah, if we see you doing it, see ya. So we'll write these out in detail, so we don't have to talk about it now. Now here's how it's going to work. Phase 1 is going to be 2 lobbies. Goat is going to host 1 lobby of 40 people, and then I will host another separate lobby of 40 other people. And we're going to do a best 2 out of 4. So each team's top 2 rounds will count toward their total score. These will be run at the same time. So we'll be spectating 1 team out of what is that, 30 for a while. And then moving on. But we're going to run these 2 lobbies at the same time. And it's going to be best 2 out of 4. Then we'll move on to phase 2. If you're in the top half of lobby A, then you move on to phase 2. If you're in the top half of lobby B, you move on to phase 2 to make lobby C. If you're in the bottom half in the first phase, see ya, you're gone. But if you're in the top half, you move on to phase 2, which is lobby C. And then that will be the best 3 games out of 6. And the host will alternate between Goat and me, because I'm West Coast, Goat is East Coast. That'll be relatively fair, especially since it's an even number of games. So the ping can kind of swing back and forth. And then we'll have a winner. And how the scoring is going to be different as well. We're going to do it like World Series of Warzone. First place for a round gets a 2x multiplier where 1 kill equals 1 point. So if you get first place and your team got 0 kills, you get 0 points. Right? None. There's no flat bonus for getting first place. It's all multiplication. But if you get 10 kills and you get first place, you get 20 points. So you're incentivized to place high, but also get kills. Yeah. Second to 5th place, the multiplier is 1.5. 6th place and beyond, 1. So 1 to 1 if you get 6th or below. So you really want to get in that top 5 to get a multiplier so that your kills count for a lot more. And we've talked about why we like this system when we talked about the World Series of Warzone. The same thing is true here. This incentivizes high placement and getting kills. It should make for a very fun viewing experience and a fun playing experience as well. So that's how the scoring is going to work. Now, we will have a document with all of this written down, so if you're not remembering, relax. But just wanted to give you a gist. Also, the prize pool. The pool, as of now, will be a minimum of 400 United States dollars. Ideally, and what I suspect will happen, is that the prize pool will, in fact, be our goal of 500 United States dollars, which is a giant W. So that's going to be great. And I'm not sure how we'll divide that up yet, but if we stayed at 400, sponsor the fucking thing, we would probably do 200 for first place, 125, 75. And then get fucked if you didn't get in the top 3. If we get 500 for the prize pool, 250, 150, 100, maybe. We have to iron that out, but we're looking at a $400 to $500 total prize pool. And we'll probably just give it to the top 3 again, but maybe top 5. I don't know, Tanner. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really talked about that yet. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought about this and I haven't read that, so I don't really know yet. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll discuss that internally. We'll have that finalized before we post all of this in the Discord, which we'll get into in a second here. I'm not sure though. I think I need to think about this some more.
Yeah. So and thank you for mentioning that. We should add that this is not totally finalized, but almost every detail here is going to end up being the case for the actual tournament. The date is 100% finalized. Sign up deadline 100% finalized. Prize pool will be $400 to $500. That's all certain. Everything else is technically not finalized, but probably is going to be just about that. But we're going to smooth some things over and go into more detail where necessary. Once we have an official document up, then it will be finalized. And by that time, we'll also have the sign-up sheet ready. So on that topic, we will be making a separate Discord channel. And Tanner had the idea to make a separate Discord category with a collection of channels for the tournament, which seems like a good idea. So we're going to have one channel just like we did last time. It's kind of like general chat about the tournament. So you can talk about the tournament, whatever. We'll have another one where the rules are posted, or we'll pin a Google Doc. Maybe we'll have its own little section. It's probably easier for you guys, so we'll probably do that. And then we're also going to have a channel that is exclusively for finding teammates. So unlike the last Dropshot tournament, we are not going to assign you a team if you don't have one. You are going to be required to find your own team. We have 80 people now. It would be very difficult and not worth the time to do it. And we think it would be better if you guys did it yourselves. Make some friends. However, we will help facilitate this and make it very easy. We're going to make a Discord channel. I'm going to create a template. And all you guys are going to have to do, if you don't have a team in mind, is copy the template, paste it, and fill it in. So it's going to be something like name, Activision ID /Battlenet, system, overall Warzone KD, miscellaneous notes. Copy and paste, and then you fill in the fucking things, enter. And then you can look there for teammates, or you can put your own shit out there and get picked up by somebody. We'll make it as easy as we possibly can. I'll make the template as useful as I can think of. It'll probably be something like that. And then you guys can formulate your own teams. Once you've done that, sign up with Go. It's going to be this tournament in general is going to be a lot more well run than the last one. Will it be a disaster? Probably. We're trying a lot of new shit this time, so something will go wrong. But by and large, I think it'll go more smoothly than the last tournament, but it is much more ambitious of a tournament. And we are extremely excited for this. As Tanner and I were talking about this afternoon, in fact, this game right now fucking sucks. It's awful. Warzone's shit. So we have to make our own fun. And that's what we're looking to do here. This is going to be more fun than Warzone I've ever fucking played. Easily. And by the way, $500 prize pool, not something to sneeze at, dude.
Yeah.
You know, $250 to first place if we go that route. How much is that over 3? What is that, 75? No, not quite. 78? Something like that. $80. 75, $80. That's pretty fucking good. It's 78.33, I think. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So very excited for this. Very ambitious, and it's going to be a lot of fun to do and a lot of fun to watch. And we're getting some like special overlays made as well for the sponsors. It's going to be very fucking cool. What are your thoughts on this whole fucking thing, Tanner?
Oh, it's going to be very well run. It won't be a disaster. We've said that about the last 2 tournaments, especially the last one. It was not a disaster at all. It worked really well. Goat did a good job organizing it. We're gonna change some things up this time. Like you said, we're gonna have the overlay. We'll have our webcams this time when we're watching gameplay, and the gameplay will be in like a separate box. So it'll be smooth. Hopefully. I'm still worried that like the two lobby
Lobbies at the
thing
same time?
could
Yeah.
get confusing, and there will be more downtime between the games and stuff, and it'll get a little confusing, but we'll see.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. That is something that is going to be the case. I don't think this is a bad thing though. But at least for phase 1, there will be more downtime between matches. Because Goat's going to have to be inputting scores from 80 people rather than just 40. So there will be more downtime between matches in phase 1 at least. But that's going to be fine because we'll have just more time at the desk, as it were, in the studio, the broadcasting studio, to do more analysis. So it'll be really fun for the viewers, I think. Even between matches, if it takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's why we're only doing 4 games instead of 6, and that downtime's still going to be fun. It's going to be filled up. So that's going to be great, and we're really looking forward to it. And Al, by the way, call me Al, the maker of this overlay, is doing us a real fucking solid, making us the tournament overlays. And they're coming out really nicely. I've gotten a rough draft from him, and it looks fucking excellent. So that's going to be really cool, and I'm very excited to show you guys that. I'm very excited to get this fucking tournament underway. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the signups are not available yet. We will let you guys know when they are, though. They should probably be ready by next Wednesday, and then we can announce it again, and we'll have the links, and we'll make sure to fucking spam you guys with that.
Yeah. So start forming your teams internally now if you have buddies you usually play with.
Yeah.
Start forming those teams.
Yeah. Warzone, so we're not basing it on Rebirth KD. We're basing it on Warzone KD, Verdansk KD. 3 people. Up to 3 people. You can do less if you want, I think. That's actually a detail we haven't figured out. But I think we can. Depends on if we can have more than 15 teams. You know what? We might not allow that. We might have a minimum of 2 people per team. We might do it that way. I'll talk to Goat about that. That's one detail we haven't sorted out yet. But,
well, you'd have to have a minimum of 2 either way.
What do you mean?
How are you going to do 1 person?
Yeah, the problem is you can't have 40 teams on Rebirth. So yeah, I wouldn't want that. So I think we'll probably have a minimum of 2 people per team.
Yeah, this is Resurgence, though, right?
Oh.
So I'm saying once that person dies, they're just out anyways.
Technically they could do it, but yeah, you're right. That'd
So
be really
it's a waste. Yeah.
Good point. Okay, so anyways, like I said, not 100% smoothed out, but pretty much there. You guys have enough information to start making teams, though. Warzone 4.5 KD cap, up to 3 players. 2 to 3 players. So that is that. And then lastly on that topic, we have either 1 or 0 sponsorship slots left. Tanner, do we know how many people said that they were going to provide funds for a sponsorship? Because we've gotten 5.
I think, let me pull it up real quick. I think it was, wait, you've gotten money from 5?
Yes.
Oh, I think it was 5 then. Let me
Okay.
double check here. Where was that written down? Here it is. Hold on. It was 5. So I believe we have 1 more slot then.
Okay, yes. So we have 1 more sponsorship slot available. It costs $100. If you want
No.
Wait.
I forgot to write one down.
Stop the
Benji, I
count.
think, was the last one. I don't think there's any more
Okay.
until that last person pays.
Okay.
Send us $100 though. Still, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll pocket it. You won't be a sponsor, but we'll pocket it. All right, so we have no sponsors left, probably. We might have 1 slot. If we do, we'll tell you guys shortly, but it's probably full.
Yeah.
Don't send us money unless you just want to get scammed. I'm totally open to that. That's fine. ! Donate, please. But you won't be a sponsor, probably. So just keep that in mind. And to our existing sponsors, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. You guys are helping contribute to what is going to be an excellent fucking production, dude. Super excited. This is something I'm more excited for than anything related to the actual video game, including COD 2021, by the way. I'm more excited for this than a beta, than Slipstream, than Sub,
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Docs, whatever, everything.
Dude.
Than durable fucking snorkels, all of it. I'm more excited for this tournament than all of those things. So it's going to be a blast. And then lastly, we got some PO box openings. I've been sitting on this for quite a while. It's about past time we open these. So we're going to do that real quick, and then we'll get into the broadcast. Tanner, do you have any boxes to open?
No, of course not.
Get shit on.
Crazy. I've gone to the PO box like once a week for the past 2 weeks. We haven't got a goddamn thing. So we're just canceling it. It's that simple.
Yeah. So Tanner was saying we will be canceling the PO box unless we get more items. So figure it the fuck out. It's in the
You guys wanted it.
You guys wanted it, and now we're just... PO box is actually more expensive than we thought it was going to be. It's like, what, $180 for like 6 months or whatever? Or 3 months?
I think that was for 3 months.
I
don't know. It's not cheap. We're paying, I'm pretty sure we paid over $500 for a year of it, so it's not worth it. So we'll probably cancel it at some point. Unless we start getting just buckets of $100 bills in it.
Which we're open to.
Or, top shelf alcohol, then we're probably just going to end up canceling it next time.
Indeed. So figure it out. Send us shit while you can. In the meantime, first, we already talked about this, but Sliv sent Tanner and I a Got Slivovitz mug. I finally got a chance to pick mine up. It feels sturdy. Got a little black inside, like a fucking, like a black mamba's mouth.
What? Oh, buddy.
That's
Put
why
some
it's called a
alcohol
black
in that
mamba,
thing.
dude.
Put some alcohol in that thing
I
and drink
certainly
it.
could. Yeah, I'll put some alcohol in this. That's a great idea. I'll put some Buffalo Trace in this, dude. What are your thoughts on
Maybe
Buffalo
wash it
Trace?
first.
I'm not doing that.
Cool.
Think I washed these sheets, these brand new sheets, before I put them on my bed? You got another fucking thing coming.
You didn't wash them?
Nope. Give me asbestos. Sign me up.
Do you realize how much softer they would be if you wash them?
No.
Of course they don't feel good. You didn't wash them. What's the point in even getting new sheets if you're not even going to wash them? Do you get clothes? Do you wear brand new clothes before you wash them?
I don't know, actually.
You're a fucking maniac. Why am I doing this podcast with you?
I don't think I do, because washing clothes is easy. I get a new shirt, I throw it in my hamper, it gets washed.
So are sheets. You
No,
unpack
it's a whole
them.
thing. No, they're too much. There's too much cloth.
There was actually no point in you getting sheets if you did not wash them. They get so much softer if you wash them. You're a fucking idiot. Oh my god.
I didn't wash them, and I won't be washing this mug, actually. So, anyways, Sliv, I was trying to peel off a sticker, but I'm not. I don't care.
Yeah, that sticker was hard to get off. I had to leave mine on.
Sliv, again, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Next, I don't know who this is from, and I'm glad. It's a butt thermometer. It's a rectal butt thermometer. It's from a brand called Frida Baby. Change it. And there's a cute little baby on the label.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what kind of organization would, depict the sodomizing of infants on their products in good conscience.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting. It's shameful. It's shameless, in fact, as Trainwrecks would say.
Squad W.
But thanks for the rectal thermometer, I guess. Don't
Not
get
really,
it.
but thanks.
Don't get the joke. Don't know who it's from, and I'm glad, because I'd ban you. So don't get the joke, but cool, man. Awesome job. Also, Blue with a fucking razor thing. Okay. So this is just the razor. Blue has a thick Italian mustache, by the way. So he was like, yes. So
how do you know?
Because I've seen him in the Hangouts. You don't come to the Hangouts because you're too busy in a hospital bed in the intensive care unit. But I've seen Blue. He's got a thick mustache. And I was talking about how people trim their mustache to not be so long. He was like, dude, I got to get you a razor. And I was like, all right. And he did it. A Remington fucking razor, dude. Now, when I saw Remington, I was hoping that this was an ACR by the gun manufacturer Remington, of course. But do they make ACRs? Is that Remington?
I don't know. The ACR is I don't know.
Look into it.
It's not what it's called in real life, so I don't know.
Let's look into it. But anyways, I thought it was going to be an assault rifle, but it's not.
I guess it is Remington ACR.
There we go.
You actually knew that. That's crazy.
Well, I have a giant brain. Read a book. But it was a Razor instead. Would have preferred an assault rifle, Blue. I'm going to be honest, from Remington. But if you're going to send me
ACR.
a Razor, that's a good one too. So I will put that to use soon, I think. See how this fucking disaster looks when it's trimmed down a little bit. So thank you, Blue. If you're listening for the jingle, here it is.
I already did the jingle. Do you not do the jingle?
No, I didn't. Did you put the Warzone in here?
Yeah, I put that at the very end of the playlist updates.
Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the last item.
Griff, we're almost 30 years old. We will never do a 24-hour stream.
I'm never doing that.
There's no chance.
If I had 25,000 subscribers like Landmark, then sure, I'll do a 24-hour stream. But,
or if Fatty sends us amphetamines, then maybe. But
well, you can, sure.
Yeah. That's, by the way, don't send narcotics to our P.O. box. I don't want to get in trouble with the federal government, please. Just joking, so thanks. All right, first up, playlist updates, double XP and double WEP XP, July 16th to the 19th, 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time in Cold War and in Warzone. Start leveling up those new guns.
So we're just going to stop announcing those. Every weekend, there's double weapon XP. Figure it out, right?
Yeah, it does.
They just do it every single weekend. It
certainly
now.
Does seem that way, yeah. So cool. I'll take it. But anyway, that's that. Also, playlist updates. There's a lot here. We're going to talk about new playlists. So in Zombies, there's going to be, obviously, Mauer Der Toten change it. And then Onslaught Accelerated and Rush on PlayStation. Don't know what those mean and don't care. And then we're going to still have Outbreak, Firebase Z, Die Machine, Dead Ops Arcade. Now, for multiplayer in Cold War, Rush 24/7, which is a remastered map, which we've talked about a number of times, that will be coming out tonight, which we'll get into. So we're going to have Rush 24/7, which will also be in hardcore. Cranked Mosh Pit, which is going to be very similar.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. To Cranked on MDub, like Cranked TDM or TDM Cranked. I forget the naming scheme there. But that's super interesting, and I'm very excited to try Cranked in Cold War. And also Capture the Flag. Two very interesting playlists. Tanner, what are your thoughts on Capture the Flag in Cold War?
Well, everything plays worse in Cold War than in BO4. So BO4 was really fun. We loved playing Capture the Flag in BO4, but Cold War, I don't know. I'll probably never play it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be any better or something.
How do you think Cranked will play, though? You think it would make Cold War fun?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Cranked is always more fun. Yeah, Cranked is always like the speed I wish multiplayer was, pretty much. So it will be fun. However, if aim assist is just as strong, then there's no point in playing Cranked either. Because I think with Cranked, it feels like you can outplay people, right? So if that doesn't matter there, then it won't make a difference, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're right. I wonder if in Cranked, if you could slide farther. If you can, that would be really fucking fun. Because when Cold War nerfed slide, that was really, for the second time, that was really unfortunate. So it could be a lot more fun.
Yeah, it was.
Playing Cranked Mosh Pit. So that'll actually be interesting. I'm very excited to try both of those. Rush, I'm not as excited about, to be honest with you. I don't even know if I played that map, honestly.
Rush looks fun. That'll be a fun map.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try it. I'm just not like super looking forward to it. So,
yeah.
Anyways, that's that. I think we'll have a playlist update for Warzone, but those notes came out like as we were live within the hour, so we don't have them yet, but we'll talk about them now.
I think it's just patch notes anyways. So.
Yeah. Now we're getting into patch notes. first of all, when this will be happening tonight, 9 p.m. Pacific time. So in 2 hours and 4 minutes, Season 4 Reloaded for Cold War and Warzone will be going live. If you're listening on a podcast app, it is already live. So that is that. And now we're going to get into Cold War with quite a bit of changes. We're not going to talk about everything as always, but we're going to be pulling out what we find to be important or noteworthy. So first of all, we're getting some new weapons, a mace, don't care, melee weapon, and that's going to be in the season. However, at launch, we're getting the OTS-9 SMG, which Tanner and I have talked about a little bit. Tanner said it looks like it's a slow-firing weapon. That's pretty much all we know about it. Has your opinion on the OTS-9 changed?
No, I still feel like it's low. And I was looking at the Warzone patch notes just now to see if they said anything about that, because it'll, feel at least similar in Cold War. And it says impressive firepower at close range. So to me, since they say impressive firepower, I'm thinking it is going to be slow firing, but it's going to hit pretty hard. Something more similar to like a Milano, because they would say impressive fire rate if it was like a really fast firing weapon. So
I agree.
That's what I'm guessing. We don't know yet for sure, but yeah, I feel like it's going to be a slow firing, longer range SMG. Yeah.
I think, here's what I'll say. Here's my guess. If the OTS-9 has an open bolt delay, it's not going to be that good. If it has no open bolt delay, it's going to take the place of the Cold War MP5. That's my bet. I have no data.
Yikes.
I have no data to back this up.
It's getting ballsy there, dude.
But that's the feeling I get. That's the feeling I get. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I agree with your analysis, by the way. If it had a good fire rate, they would have said so in the description. So the fact that they didn't means it's not that good.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Milano Bullfrog kind of territory, where it's just not that fast.
Now, how will it feel in Cold War? Because that's more what we're talking about right now. Exactly the same as every other gun, because guns don't have their own identity in Cold War. Correct. They all feel the same. So it doesn't matter about how it feels in Cold War. Yeah. It'll feel like a gun that fires bullets.
Yeah, it'll be fine in Cold War. So, yeah. So we'll see. There's also in Cold War a new daily double XP token reward. Now, you might be thinking, I don't care about XP. True. However, here's how it works. If you do a daily challenge in Cold War, you can pick a double XP or double weapon XP token. So if you're trying to grind new guns, for example, this new SMG, and get levels on it, it might be worth your time to get into Cold War, do a daily, pick up a double weapon XP token, and then use that to level your gun in like Warzone or something. That might be an efficient use of your time. So I think this is a pretty cool addition. And that is an interesting thing. It can't hurt. And then also there's going to be a new operator named Weaver. Don't care. Next, Tanner, we have an image here.
Show that after. Start talking about the weapon changes down below.
Oh, okay. All right. So OTS-9 will be available on launch, as we said. Now, for in Cold War, the XM4, QBZ, Krig, and FFAR have had their iron sights pushed out farther. Now, I read this and I was like, okay, cool, I guess. Can't really picture what that means or what that would look like. And I'm assuming that's what this image is for.
Yes, that's what this image is for. It's of an XM4. So
this is an after picture of the iron sights on an XM4. I'm going to be honest with you. If you could have told me this was beta, and I would have believed you. This does not look different to me.
It is so much different. It is a lot further out. The irons are a lot better.
Really?
Dude, the iron sight is it used to be seriously like double the size, because it used to be so much closer to use. That's why the visibility always felt so bad with the XM4. This makes it a lot better. I don't know if this will come to Warzone. It should, but it doesn't sound like it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is much, much better. I saw this was posted on Reddit. I saw a link to it and I went to it and I found that image. I mean, there are some people saying just dumb things. One guy was like, "Oh, dude, this is like the ACR irons." It's not. They're
Not
a
even
lot,
close.
a lot better than what they were. Like this pretty much entirely changes the XM4. They're good. They're not ACR irons, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a helpful change for the guns.
Yeah.
I just couldn't tell there. I would have preferred typical Redditor dipshit not showing a before and after picture. Cringe.
I thought it. Yeah.
XM4, QBZ, Krig, and FFAR all got the same treatment. The iron sights are farther away. So does that mean they're closer to the tip of the gun, or is it just that you hold your gun farther away from your face?
Well, technically, it's probably you have your gun further away from your face.
That's probably what it is. So,
In
any case,
where's that?
you get more peripheral vision now. That's a good thing. So, yeah, that's good. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, moving on here, and that was again only for Cold War, as far as we know for now. Zombies.
Doesn't look like it changed in Warzone.
Mauer der Toten is a new map, round-based zombies map. I don't know anything about this other than the name and that it's new and it's coming to the game. I don't know if this is even a remake. I think it is like a spiritual remake, but I could be wrong.
I don't think
on
it's
that.
a remake of anything. I'm pretty sure this is an entirely new zombies
okay.
map.
Okay, cool.
I think. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it got inspiration from something, but I could be totally wrong.
Zombie,
on that, so.
yeah, zombies frogs are molding right now, of course.
Yeah,
stay mad.
Yeah, but that's cool. There will also be new enemies in that map. The Disciple, and change it, and Tormentors, change it.
Cringe.
That's actually kind of cool. The names are awful, but the names are fine for zombies, actually. But that's cool. New enemies, different shit in zombies, so interesting. There will be a main quest coming to that map on 10 a.m. Pacific, July 15th. And then also we're getting the Mule Kick perk, which is a new perk. It'll be at the perk machine in Mauer der Toten, Die Machine, and Firebase Z, and an Outbreak. The base ability is to carry a third primary weapon, and you can skill this up all the way to tier 5 with your Aether Crystals for some added benefits. So that is very cool. And then a new wonder weapon, the CRBRS. This is exclusive to Mauer der Toten.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because I think the fucking suck is exclusive to whatever the map we played.
It's not, because it's on Outbreak too.
It's on Outbreak too. Yeah, you're right. So
yeah, it's weird, actually.
So I know we had been kind of in a blender last time we talked about it. Here's a little more clarity. Base pistol weapon with 3 mod kit variants. So I don't think it's improved 3 times at least. I think you kind of pick which variant you want and then improve that. That's what this sounds like to me, but I'm not sure. Zombies killed with any version of the weapon have a chance to drop one of the 3 mod kits. So that's cool. You pick up the pistol, just start killing shit, and one of them will hopefully drop a mod variation.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And then equipping a mod kit will convert the weapon to one of its variant forms. That makes sense.
So I wonder if each variant will be able to be pack-a-punch differently.
That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, but I don't know.
Because if you like max pack-a-punch one and it's like the shittiest version, like the pistol version, and then a random dipshit zombie drops like the AR version of it, does that mean if you pick that up, you're just going to have like a non-pack-a-punch weapon? I wonder. That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, because that would kind of make like packing the pistol not worth it.
Yeah, right? Like you almost like hold out for the better one.
Yeah. Well, with the mule perk, the mule kick perk though, what you could do is just pick that shit up. Oh, but you have to get kills with the weapon. Yeah. Ooh, that's a toughie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that works, but that is interesting. Either way, cool. A new tactical, the LT-53 Casimir. It is equipment. It can be found as a drop or crafted at the crafting table. When deployed, it creates a portal that pulls in enemies. That's cool. So it's like it's like a black hole. It's like a little deployable black hole. Players who jump into the portal will be teleported to another location. That's actually quite cool.
Oh, that is dope. Yeah, I like that.
That could be super useful. And then a lot of the damage scaling got changed. Well, first of all, equipment damage will now scale evenly to be more consistent in their ability to kill enemies. This makes sense. And then some equipment was doing more damage than intended on direct impact, so they reverted that. And however, pretty much nerfs across the board for the zombies. Zombies have their health reduced.
Big changes.
From plus 300% at high rounds to plus 100%. Special enemies, plus 100 to plus 50. Elites, plus 100 to plus 25. And HVTs, I don't know what that is, from plus 100 to plus 10. So
we're going to hit around 1,000.
Yeah, actually. They just made zombies a lot easier.
Yeah.
Which is super odd.
It is very odd, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Very interesting. And then also, enemy armor durability reduced health of armor for medium and heavy zombies by 30% as well. Why would they make zombies like a lot easier? Or is this making it easier, or is it just making it less time consuming?
What do you mean less time consuming? Why would you think that? I mean, it's still going to take, won't it just take longer even?
Well,
I mean, if we're talking about time consuming in the game, it'll take longer because you'll get to higher levels now. Are you talking about less time consuming to kill zombies?
I mean, you can get to higher rounds in the same amount of time.
Yeah, I guess. Because it does, I think that's kind of what gets boring towards the end is like, there's a point where it's like you're still excited, you're not bored yet. And it just feels like regular zombies take too many bullets to kill, right? And it's just like, it's kind of dumb. It's like, okay, here's 10 more of them. Let me mow them all down real quick. So I think this will make it more fun, actually. This will be interesting. I don't know how this will play. I want to know what the zombies community thinks about this. I would imagine they're molding over this. I would think they would want it harder, right? So all their fucking records can't be broken and stuff. But I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm interested to see is how like the hardcore zombies players take this.
I was thinking of people who had broken records too. Are they going to have to like delineate in their little archives? Like, all right,
pre-patch.
Pre S4R and post S4R records. Kind of have to. Mm-hmm. This is a lot different.
Yeah. Regular zombies from 300 to 100%. That's huge, dude. That's massive.
I agree with your take though on when zombies gets boring, especially like, and this happened to us, by the way, our 5th time playing Cold War Zombies. We got to a point where we each had a ray gun. Maybe it wasn't with you, maybe it was with Gabe. But Gabe and I both had a ray gun packed to tier 3, and we both had a suck and fuck packed, or no, I don't think you can pack that, but we both had a suck and fuck secondary. So then it was like there was actually nothing else to do. I can't get better guns. There's nothing else for me to do here. And it just gets dumb. It's like, all right, let's run in a circle, let's kill them all. Like we have the best weapons. There's nothing else to do except just going for high rounds. And then we just exfilled at like 40 or whatever.
Yeah, it is the most repetitive thing when you have all the good weapons. It's almost like you don't even, it's like you want the good weapons early on because you're like, oh shit, I want the ray gun. And then you guys all end up getting it. And then it's like, okay, this is just boring now. I'm just shitting on all of these dumb AI zombies that run the same path every time. And I can move to the right and start running a circle and I know exactly where they'll come. And yeah, it just gets boring. So
yeah. Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. Doing the zombie stream on Friday will probably be enough zombies for me to last till COD 2021, I would imagine.
Yeah, I suspect that will probably be true. But maybe the new map's super interesting. It's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there's some big differences with it.
Yeah. Having 3 weapons is cool too, actually.
That is huge.
Because like, and we'll get into it. So anyways, new in-game Dark Aether story intel available to discover in Maudertoten and Outbreak. Challenges, new zombie challenges for that map, Maudertoten. MDT is what I'm calling it for now. I'm never saying that again. Including a new Dark Ops challenge. That's cool. People are going to have to figure out what the fuck that challenge is. That's pretty dope. Also, addressed an issue where the Season 4 Staycation challenge could be completed the wrong round. Don't know what that means. Some field upgrades, Frost Blast and Energy Mine will now scale evenly to be more consistent in their ability to kill enemies. Dynamic wall buys have been changed and or added. Wall buy weapons in all round-based zombies maps will now have a chance to increase in rarity at the end of every 5th round, giving players more weapon options. This actually is cool. To choose from as the rounds go up, rarities can increase all the way to legendary. This is good, because those weapons on the wall, no one ever buys them. Or if they do, they buy like the one shotgun on round 3, and then you're done with all weapon buys or wall buys.
That's what the strat was buy that Spaz 12 at like round 7 and then pack-a-punch it.
Yep.
Level it up, pack-a-punch it, and then you're good for the rest of the game. And then you just try to get like a ray gun or a suck and fuck. Yeah, that's funny, dude.
And just not use any other wall buys. So the fact that they're dynamic now is actually a very good change. I think it's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. So did they not ever change before? If a green...
Correct.
They had to have changed. There's no way.
No,
I guess
I
they
swear.
didn't. That was so dumb. I don't know why they did that. Because it just made them worthless. It's like, cool. After round 10, just take them off the wall because they're dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm better off punching the zombies, right?
Yeah.
Just take them off the wall. So this is cool, actually. I like this.
Even round fucking 1, like that blue MP5, no one would ever pick it up. It's just like why I can get the spas. Why would I not do that? But even if I don't know. Yeah, it's super dumb. So the fact that there are dynamic ones now is very cool. So that's good to see. And then go all the way up to legendary. I don't know if that means, are ray guns legendary? Could you theoretically get a ray gun off the wall if you get lucky? Pretty
well, this is just saying the weapons have a chance to increase in rarity. I believe that means
oh, you're right. It'll still
like
be
a green spaz can go up to a gold. Yeah.
Yes. Got it. Yeah, you're right.
Because that saves you a bunch. God, it's been forever since I played zombies. That saves you a bunch of whatever that currency is called, where you have to like upgrade it from like green up to gold or something. It would save you that. Yeah, salvage. So it would end up probably costing a lot less if you get lucky, and the shotgun you want automatically is raised, and the rarity's gold. And it's like, oh shit, I'll just buy that and then pack-a-punch that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah, cool for sure. Also, some weapon tuning to make zombies even... Well, I wouldn't say easier, actually. It's actually kind of interesting. Melee weapons. Increased pack-a-punch base damage from 2,000 to 2,500, so that does make it easier. And level 3 multiplier from 4 to 5. So they're making it a lot easier to kill zombies in this mode. Which is super fucking interesting. And then snipers got buffs across the board. I'm going to go through the Swiss. I'm not going to go through them all, but every sniper got a buff similar to this. Increased crit multiplier from 3.5 to 4.5. Stock ammo 42 to 60. And then pack-a-punched Swiss, crit multiplier from 3.5 to 4.5. Similar changes were made for every single sniper in the game. Now my question is this. Does that make using a fucking sniper rifle in zombies worth it? Because what I could see someone doing is getting a giant conga line of zombies, turning around, and then colliding like 10 with your ZRG, and just insta-killing like 10 who are in a line. Maybe. Do you think?
It could be. I don't think these changes alone would do much, but since they also nerfed all of the zombies in general, I think this will actually be huge. I think I think snipers will probably end up being very good. Now, will it be as good as having like automatic shotgun or a ray gun? No. But I feel like early rounds where snipers didn't used to ever be used, I feel like we'll be seeing them there. So, that's cool.
Because like no one right now uses fucking snipers ever. It just makes no sense. I think like a Barrett maybe could be pretty good. Sorry, I'm editing this command real quick. I think that should work. Nope, it didn't. Cool, man. 1 second.
Yeah, it did.
Well, it worked, but that's the URL's fucked there.
Oh.
Yeah, I forgot a second slash. And that should work. Nope, not the dropshot.com. I don't have a brain. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, this is just a fucking disaster, but
okay, well, I'll start getting into these next ones. So that's it for all the zombies weapon changes. So next up here, we have some multiplayer changes. Of course, we already said Rush 6v6 is in. It's a paintball map, a remastered map from BO 1 or 2. I don't remember which one it was. From one of the games. So that'll be fun. Capture the flag, pretty self-explanatory. Cranked, self-explanatory. You eliminate enemies, you move faster, you reload faster. If you don't kill someone within 30 seconds, you explode.
I wonder how similar this is to that Die Hard point.
Probably exactly the same.
Where you get those buffs, because that was a little different than...
And that was fun.
Cranked MDub, but it was fun, yeah.
It was very fun, yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if it would be the same. So we'll have to actually look into that. I'll let you guys know if it's cranked. Because they didn't call Die Hard Point cranked. So cranked might mean something a little different. But they did say earn buffs. So I imagine it's going to be the same kind of effects as Die Hard Point was, you know?
Yeah, you're probably right. So it will be different than MDub cranked.
Yeah. Which is still fine, because Die Hard Point, those buffs were very cool. You still move faster and shit, so that was cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
This is interesting. Multi-team elimination. Weapons dropped by eliminated enemies will now be considered loot, allowing for easier pickups. Very good change. There was a shocking lack of loot in multi-team, and now you can pick up weapons off of dead people. This is a very good change. I like this a lot. Also, equipment and field upgrades will drop as well.
Wow.
So if they have Dead Silence, well, that's not in multi-team. What's a field upgrade in that game? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I can't.
It doesn't matter.
I can't think of any right now. I don't know.
Or equipment, then that will drop as well. So like tacticals and shit. So that's, I think, tacticals and shit. Either way, more shit drops off of people, and there's a shocking amount of lack of loot in that mode. So that will help multi-team elimination. That's good. Also, the nuke got added to fucking Cold War. Nuke score streak at 30 kills is now available in all modes except the following: League Play and CDL variants, multi-team modes, so you can't get a nuke in multi-team, party games like One in the Chamber, and gunfight. But so basically, everywhere you can call in a nuke in like MDub, every game mode, you can do it in Cold War as well. Interesting. Yeah. Now, Tanner was telling me that it's not the same as an MDub nuke, but it is a callable nuke. And I believe we showed this when it was added to Cranked Hardpoint a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. And it would kill every player on the map. Maybe except the person who called it, but it does not end the game.
Yeah, so Treyarch tweeted out, I think it was yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday. But they said, like, there's a nuke, you call it, it ends the game. Everyone was like, oh, dope. Like an hour later, they were like, sorry, we got a little ahead of ourselves here. It doesn't end the game. It just kills everyone on the map, and then the game continues, which I don't like. I loved how Modern Warfare 2019 did the nuke, because if you get 30 kills in a row, you should end the match. You should just end it, right? So I like that better. I think this is just dumb. It's a lot less meaningful. Getting 30 kills without dying is not easy to do. 99% of people listening to this probably can't do it. Or you haven't done it. It's not easy to do. I haven't got one in Cold War because I haven't played Cold War a whole lot, but I got to 29 in Cold War and that was it. So, and in all the hours I played MDub 2019, I only got like 6. So it's hard to do. So you should be able to end the game. This is kind of dumb. It's cool they added it in, but I just wish it would end the game.
I agree. If you're styling on people that hard, where you can get 30 gun kills without dying, you won. Let's end this bloodbath. It's like a surrender. It's like in it was called in, I used to play in like a basketball league called NJB for like little fucking kids. It was called like a mercy rule. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but like if your team was winning by 25 points or more, I don't know what the thing they did was. I think it might have been you were not allowed to play your starters anymore for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
If you go up by 25 points or more, they called it like a mercy rule. I remember the name was mercy rule, and I'm pretty sure it was 25 points, but I don't remember what it was. I think it was like you had to take your starters out, like all of them. And that is what a callable nuke is, and as it should be. Because hey, I killed you 30 times without dying, you lost. You're worse than me, a lot. End it. You lose. I don't care what the objective is. Stop it. You should be able to kill someone before they kill you fucking 30 times in a row. It's insane. So I agree with you. It should be able to end the game, but anyways.
Yeah, I wonder if War Machine will work towards that.
Yeah, probably.
I guess it will, right? Because it works towards a nuke streak.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
It's gonna be easier in Cold War than MW for sure. Because War Machine and Death Machine both count.
Theoretically, that's a lot easier to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool, man.
There's no full court press in Australia. That is fucking cringe. Well, yikes. No wonder there's no fucking NBA in Australia. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Jeez.
New 20v20 mode comes to Warzone. Payload. Race against time for crucial intel, as these vehicles carry satellite parts that could help shift the balance of the war between Perseus and NATO. And this is inspired by World War II's war mode. Now this is an image from Call of Duty. This tweet was tweeted by Charlie Intel. 20v20, it's called Payload. Payload, by the way, this looks to be like the Overwatch mode called Payload, where you sit on a vehicle and then it travels when someone's on it. But it also, clearly, there's a turret you can fire out of. And this takes place in Warzone, but this is not a Warzone match or mode. This is reminiscent to me of a Warzone playlist we got like this once upon a time, which was like Warzone Deathmatch, which was just two teams of fucking 30 or whatever doing team deathmatch in Verdansk. And people very quickly figured out, here's the strat, get on a rooftop and just kill everyone who's landing in. And it's easy. And then the mode is super dumb and unfun if you're getting farmed in the air or if you're just like shooting ducks on a rooftop. This will be similar, I imagine, but what do you think? Does this sound fun to you? Does this sound fun and exciting?
It doesn't sound fun, no. Doesn't sound fun at all, and I won't play it. Nope.
Yeah.
Mounted vehicles running around just shooting at each other. Yeah, I mean, I'll just go play Battlefield if I want vehicles.
Yeah, this is dumb. This will be an LTM almost certainly.
Yeah,
you should not play it, but it'll be in here. World War II's war mode was pretty cool. I was also 13. Oh no, World War II. I didn't know World War II had war. I never played it. I was thinking of World at War's war mode, which was fun, and I was 13. But the map was also way smaller than Verdansk, so I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but it'll be interesting for sure. New kill streak coming to Warzone, the Sentry Gun. Now, boy, does this make me pissed. And I tweeted this from the official The Dropshot account. And if I write a tweet on that fucking Twitter account, you know I'm malding. Either something extremely important happened or I'm malding. Those are the times I tweet from the official The Dropshot of Call of Duty Podcast Twitter account, which you should follow at the Dropshot Pod, of course. And here's what I said. I said, the Sentry Gun, I'm paraphrasing, the Sentry Gun, one of two things will happen. Either one, it's going to be good, which is awful for the game, because then it's getting kills on people. As if you don't get aimbotted enough in Warzone already, you're going to have an actual sanctioned aimbot in the form of a Sentry Gun just fucking your ass, in addition to this guy who's hipfire botting you. Super cool, man. What a disaster. So,
dude, imagine aimbotter standing on top of the sentry gun as it guns people down. He's also botting everyone.
True. We will see it. I wonder if you'll be able to deploy this onto a vehicle like you can a trophy. Like, what if you put a sentry in the back of your Bertha? This game is so bad.
That'd be dope. I wonder if I can put it on a chopper,
dude. This game is so dog shit.
Like a trophy.
This game
wonder if I can
so
put
awful.
it on a roof in downtown and it'll aim down. It'll aim directly at the ground.
Just like, yeah, like as far as you, yeah. Well, anyways. So either one, the sentry is going to be good, which will be terrible for the game. Makes camping way fucking easier. Nothing interesting. There's nothing interesting about outplaying a sentry gun. If you could even outplay a sentry gun, I don't even know what that means. This is effectively like a really good claymore they just added to Warzone. Cringe. And not fun or exciting. So it's either going to be good and actually be effective, which is terrible because Warzone does not need more campers. We have 8,000 buildings for campers. We don't need sentry guns also. Or option 2 is that it fucking sucks and then no one uses it. And then the developer spent all this time creating something and implementing something that absolutely no one will use. Think of, for example, the RCXD. How many development hours were completely wasted on an RCXD that 0 people ever use because it's shit? Don't know. They could have been doing things that were cool with that development time. Making an anti-cheat. Tweeting about an anti-cheat. Telling us they're aware people are cheating in their game. Filing a lawsuit against a cheater. Manufacturer. Just to name a couple examples. Taking dead silence out of the game. Reducing the spawn rate of dead silence. There are many things, many things they could have spent their valuable time on. Instead, they chose to make a sentry. So either it's going to be too good, either it's going to be good at all, and then it's going to be terrible for the game, or it's not going to be worth using, and then it's just the game hasn't changed at all, and it's a waste of time. So there is no world, there's no universe where adding a sentry gun to Warzone will be good, or fun, or exciting. It'll either make the game worse, or it won't change the game at all. What are your thoughts on the sentry gun, Tanner?
Well, there's something I put in the news and upcoming changes. There's an article from Charlie Intel. I don't know how they know this. So the sentry supposedly only lasts 1 minute after being placed. So that makes it a lot worse. That makes it far less overpowered. If you're trying to camp a building or a room, you know, you're thinking like, oh, I can throw a sentry out and it'll stay there for till it's destroyed. 10 minutes or something. Supposedly it's not going to happen. Also, I guess they only spawn in the rooms that you get access to when you go through a red door. So apparently you have to hit a red door and then get lucky and find one in there. So these sound like they're going to be super rare. This will also probably entice more players to seek out the red doors to try to find the sentry gun. There's an issue though, is I don't know how Charlie and Dell knows this. They posted this article 3 days ago talking about the sentry gun when there was no info out. So either they're just blowing shit out of their ass and it's just not true,
I believe them.
Or they already had the insider knowledge and they kind of basically accidentally leaked how it works without paying attention to it. That's a possibility too. So if these are only in red doors, I don't care. That's fine. That's not a big deal to me. I mean, you'll see maybe one or two. There will be maybe one or two on a map per game. So it's not a big deal. Now, if you could buy these at a buy station for $4,000 or $5,000, that's a totally different story. But if it's not like that, it's not even, it really doesn't matter that much because you won't see them often and they're not going to be that good. And if they only last a minute, it also doesn't really matter. And they only cover 180 degree angles. So it's not like you can just place them in the middle and it'll turn around and shoot everything. It's just 180 degrees. So it sounds more like it's just going to basically be a waste of resources putting this in.
Yep.
More than anything.
Yep.
So, which is fine. If they want to waste their time, that's fine. As long as it's not overpowered, then I'm happy about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would rather it be not worth using and therefore a waste of their time than it be good. I agree with you there for sure. But still,
Yeah.
just like you said, it's just a waste. If all of that is true, then it was just a waste of time for them to put this in the game, because it's just it's not going to impact anyone's game like almost ever. And yeah, a minute. I mean, I'm glad that it's shit, but still, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Warzone patch notes. Good old Liam writing this one up, but these are straight from the source. These are the Warzone patch notes. Now, these were posted after we started streaming, so we will be covering this to the best of our ability. We weren't able to curate important notes, but we're going to do this on the fly the best we can. So I have the notes pulled up here. It is on your screens. Payload, we've already talked about. That is coming to the video game. Red doors. What? Red doors. Further intel suggests that these red doors will appear redacted and take you to redacted. We already have red doors. Don't know why this is a note. Cool.
I don't know what that means either. I was confused about that. Further intel suggests the red doors will appear.
So maybe they're adding more red door locations.
That's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me. That's what I was thinking.
So that's going to be a cool man for me, for sure. By the way, look how professional of a mod Arton is. I didn't even know that was a thing you could do.
Didn't.
Shout out to Arton Hee, dude.
That's such a big brain play. I can't believe I never thought about that. 5-head
massive brain play. Thank you, Arton. What's up, dude? Huge. All right, I appreciate it. New prestige items added, calling cards and emblems. Oh, this is interesting. The kill chain perk now increases the chance to obtain all Warzone kill streaks from loot. Well, hold on. Stop. Tanner. All Warzone kill streaks includes
advanced UAV.
Advanced UAV, and because it's technically a separate item, the VSAT. Or HARP is what they call it. The HARP and the advanced UAV are both in the game.
I feel like that they just didn't leave that out. There's no way it would give you those things.
You don't think?
I don't think.
I do. Because currently kill chain increases the chance to obtain kill streaks. So why would they make a patch note if nothing changed?
All Warzone kill streaks.
Dude, I bet you it's adding advanced and HARP.
Probably, yep. Raising the skill gap somewhere, right?
Cringe. Now, the good news is, once again, this is a change without... This is a difference without a distinction, because no one's going to run kill chain. Oh, wait, kill chain's a blue perk now. No, people will definitely run kill chain. Yikes. Okay, now I'm mad again. This is cringe.
Yeah, kill chain, you would run... It's either... You're pretty much either running EOD, double time, or it'd be kill chain.
I'm unironically going to try this if I remember to and get some advanced UAVs from fucking brown boxes. Awesome game. This game's so dumb. I hope that's not what that means. I can't figure out what else it would mean, though. So, cringe. Loot that spawns across Verdansk has been adjusted as follows. New Gulag loadouts. So, don't put that note there, because that's not loot. So, cool. The sentry gun can be found in red door rooms, as Charlie Intel said. The specialist token, oh god, is now slightly more common in core BR. Once again, cringe. Let's not have random shit spawn places that gives you giant advantages.
Isn't it not doing the weapon perks anymore, though?
Correct.
They didn't make that clear, but I mean, it's right.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Still pretty busted, though.
Yeah, still extremely busted. Yeah. Still super busted. So that's cringe. Awful. Combat bow damage has been increased, and it will now down enemies who are directly hit. Ooh. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's good, because that's hard to do anyways.
I agree with you.
So that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
That makes it kind of worth running, because now we see combat bows and we just don't even pick them up.
Correct.
I didn't even know it wasn't a down on when I directly hit someone, because I'd never hit someone directly anyways. So
yeah. I like this change. The only thing that makes me a little hesitant is that they also said damage has been increased. I'm hoping the splash damage is either minimal, or if it's not, the radius is very small. I don't want the fucking explosion to be like an RPG where I fire it 5 meters from you and you have no plates anymore. So, but I don't think they would do that. Well, I hope they wouldn't do that, but who fucking knows? Players will now drop their current equipment directly behind them when looting a loadout drop. Oh, that's nice. That's very cool. So now you don't have to fucking like angle yourself all weird. That's cool. All right, that's good. Vertical camera movement will no longer be locked when sliding on a downward slope. Let's go, dude.
Yeah. Oh, that was going to be one of my news articles too. They had said last week that there was a fix coming for this, and I'd already written that's probably coming in the Reloaded. So there we go. I'm surprised they even put it in the patch notes.
After 2 years, as MP says, yes, it's been since launch. And they fixed
supposedly is a KBAM only thing, by the way. That's what they said in the tweet when they responded to somebody about that.
Oh, really?
Was that it was a KBAM thing. So apparently that didn't happen on controller. If it did happen, I'm sure that would have been fixed the first week of MW 2019,
that is, of course,
right?
True, yeah.
I don't care about KBAM players. But yeah, I mean, fucking finally, dude. Holy shit.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah. Cringe.
That's fantastic. All right, next, dirt bike updates. Wheelies, exclamation point.
Wheelies. Cool.
Okay. I want Ashton back. I'd rather hear nothing than wheelies. With an exclamation
I would rather
mark.
not know a dirt bike's in the game than have somebody say wheelies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wheelies.
He was probably giggling to himself when he wrote this. So anyways, wheelies. Lean back to lift the dirt bike and initiate a wheelie. That's super cool, man. How do you lean back in a dirt bike though? Drive backwards while driving forwards? Awesome. Thanks. Helpful. How do you lean back?
Lean back. Now lean back. That's a good song. You remember that song? Dude, that was a jam.
It was a song. No, but seriously, how do you lean back?
You lean back.
In game, what buttons do you press to drive a dirt bike and lean back?
I think you actually hold down W and then you press S, actually.
Okay.
It has to be. What else would it be?
I don't know.
It's gonna be awkward to do. It doesn't matter. We don't use dirt bikes. We're overthinking it. It doesn't matter.
So by the way, guys, I want you all to keep in mind every change is an opportunity cost. So instead of looking into anti-cheat or reducing the spawn rate of dead silence, they had their precious finite development time and they spent it on, hey guys, we need to make the dirt bikes be able to do wheelies. That's what they chose to change.
Yeah, some fucking river rat that works there wanted that.
Correct. Yep. Not any of the glaring, disastrous problems. Hey, boss, if people look east, they can't see anyone. Yeah, hey, listen, Gary, that's great. Don't care. I need you to make wheelies possible in this game pronto. Please, thank you. So that's how they're spending their time. So that's awesome. That's fucking great, dude. So if you're thinking, oh, but Casey, but Raz, wheelies are fun. Who cares, man? It doesn't hurt your gameplay experience if people can wheelie. That's true. But also it means the developers spent time making fucking wheelies possible instead of fixing their broken dog shit game. And that's the problem, right? That's the problem. Think bigger, listener, okay? Think bigger. We should not be focused on fucking acrobatics right now. We should be focused on fixing the fucking game. So anyways, cool. You can wheelie on a fucking dirt bike. Awesome, man. The dirt bike now supports leaning forward and backward in the air as well. Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Let's go, baby.
Man. Yeah.
Let's
I
absolutely
died at dead silence
go.
and hackers every game, but at least I can lean forward and backward on a fucking dirt bike, man.
Let's
awesome,
go.
dude. I fucking hate these people. God, it's so stupid. So make sure to position yourself for that perfect landing. Just great. Just good old Activision, dude. Cringe. So cringe. Anyways, this is interesting.
This next one's big.
Very interesting. We are excited to share that we're planning the debut of 2 new Warzone specific perks. No shot! Alongside them, High Alert will also be receiving an update that allows players to hear dead silent footsteps. Until then, we may see a weapon make its long-awaited debut in Verdansk. Now, boys and girls, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Clip me now, link me later. Hey, later hath come. What did I say weeks ago when they talked about counterplay to dead silence? I said, well, maybe it's going to be some kind of perk functionality where you can hear footsteps of people who are dead silent. And if they were going to do it, the perk that would make the most sense is High Alert. That's what I said weeks ago. Am I an insider? Am I a leaker?
Well,
it's possible.
You've been wrong a lot, so yeah, you probably are a leaker.
Well, I've been more right than many of these leakers.
It's true, yeah.
And I just have a giant fucking brain. So I called it, and I want to rub it in all of your faces. So listen to all of my predictions. They're all correct, including this one. This is not terribly surprising, though. And this is honestly not a very big deal to call this. It seems...
Well, it is a big deal because it means dead silence isn't going anywhere. So this is awful, really.
Well...
Actually, think about it. This is fucking horrible.
The predictive power wasn't a big deal. The change itself is a big deal. Yeah, that's not good. I agree with you. Because now
this is horrible.
Yeah, this is awful. This is awful. Yeah. That's not what I meant. So this is not good. Warzone's... We'll start with this. Okay. High Alert is a red perk. The two most common red perks right now are Ghost and Overkill. Or excuse me. Technically Overkill, but I don't mean that. Ghost and Restock. Ghost, by far the favorite. High Alert now has a real argument for it to be run. Assuming the spawn rate of dead silence remains exactly the same as it is now, would you run Ghost or High Alert going forward, Tanner?
I'm still going to run Ghost. The audio is so bad anyways, even if... I mean, dead silence is fucking awful and annoying. I die to it all the time, but half the time I can't hear footsteps anyway, so it doesn't even really end up mattering that much. Ghost is just too strong. This is honestly a horrible change for the game. It would be much better if they just said, the rate of dead silent spawn has reduced by 75%, by 80%. It's just... This is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard, frankly. It made sense when we guessed it. It made total sense. Awful fucking idea. So go figure they would do this, right?
Yeah,
go figure they would do the dumbest fucking thing possible. It's just these patch notes are awful so far. The game is going to be just as bad, if not worse. Another thing, by the way, we're excited to share that we are planning the debut of 2 new Warzone specific perks. That tells me none of these weapons or perks are going away when the new Warzone map supposedly comes out in November, right? Why would they just now add in 2 new Warzone perks and then wipe it clean?
Ooh.
So that 100% the perks have to be staying. So if anything, they're adding perks that they'll keep in mind have to make sense going forward. So it'll be something that'll probably play in with COD 2021. I don't know what that'll end up being. Maybe something to do with vehicles, because we're really supposedly getting vehicles in this.
They've got vehicles and payload. Awful. They're trying to get us acclimated. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. So don't ask me what I think these new perks are going to be. I have no idea. I'm very interested to see what they are, though. Because maybe it'll be something that'll go in the red category and be so good that it'll actually make you think, ooh, should I drop Ghost and run this? Don't know what that would be. That'd be pretty damn hard to do. But that would be cool. I would be fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this High Alert change pisses me off, frankly. This is so stupid. So stupid.
I totally agree with you. The only thing I'm going to try running High Alert for a while and see how much I hate it. I actually don't know. I'm just going to run it and see how it feels. Because you could maybe make an argument that one person on the team should run High Alert, but not the people we run with, because we're all fucking separated all the time anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. But I'm going to try High Alert now, but it's not going to be better than Ghost. I find that very, very hard to believe.
Yeah.
But something to keep in mind too is that high alert's going to retain its current functionality. So it's not like you're taking high alert instead of ghost only to hear footsteps. You will also have the current high alert where you can see people looking at you. So that plus being able to hear dead silence, I agree with you. Not as good as ghost. Not worth it. But way better than it was before. On the other side of the coin, like you said, what does this mean? It means they have no intentions of reducing the spawn rate of dead silence. That's terrible.
To be honest, they may increase the spawn rate. If they're adding an entire counter perk to it, it would make more sense for them in their minds to increase the spawn rate to get more use out of that perk than to decrease the spawn rate of dead silence.
Yeah.
So there's no way dead silence spawn rate is reduced at all in this patch.
I agree.
This makes me furious. I'm so mad right now.
Yeah, this is a bad change. I totally agree with you. Because it's not the change itself. Because if they had done this to high alert and also said we made dead silence as common as stopping power, then we'd be happy with it. The reason we're mad and think this is a bad change is because the fact that they changed a perk to counter dead silence is evidence of the fact that they will not reduce the spawn rate of dead silence. It wouldn't make sense for them to do that. So they're not going to. That's why we're mad. We're going to see just as much dead silence. And the reality is, it's not going to be worth running high alert over ghost. So once again, this is another distinction without a difference. Kind of. High alert's changing, but since no one will use it, it's almost as if it didn't change at all. Because the way you play Warzone and everyone plays Warzone will be exactly the same. Because everyone's still going to run Ghost. People are going to try high alert like me. We're going to get rolled up on by 80 teams because we don't have Ghost and they call UAVs. And then we're going to say, well, this was fun for 2 games, but Ghost is too good. Go back to Ghost. And then we're going to get deady pushed 8 times a game and die. When we're not already dead to, of course, cheaters in the game. So this is, again, just a giant waste of development resources to change things in the game that actually don't matter at all and won't impact anyone's gameplay experience at all. And therefore, waste of time, waste of development resources, and most importantly, dead silence is still going to be a complete fumble.
Yeah.
A miscarriage of fun in a video game. The amount of dead silence that will remain in the game. So this is cringe. I agree. Now, the 2 Warzone specific perks, very interesting. I'm thinking we're going to get a yellow perk and a blue perk. Because the red perks are already all really good.
They're, pretty stacked.
And they're also adding functionality to a red perk. However, when you look at the yellow perks, no one doesn't run amped. And the only people who don't use amped use kilos. Which is to say, they are totally lost. They are completely uninformed. They're in a blender.
Lost, dude.
So anyone who knows what they're doing is running amped already. Because there's no even remotely close other choice for the yellow category. So it would make sense they add a yellow perk so that people maybe have to think about what they want to run. By the way, increased weapon swap speed, I find it and increased lethal and equipment and tactical throwing speed. I find it very hard to compete with that. So I don't know if any yellow perk is going to be able to compete with that. But nonetheless, they'll probably add another yellow perk and then another blue perk. What these perks could be, I have no idea. But do you have any ideas on maybe what they'll add or what you'd want?
Literally nothing. I don't know what I want. I don't know what they'd add. So I'm interested to see what they come up with. Hopefully it's something smart that makes sense so that we have, more than 5 perks being used in Warzone, 4 perks pretty much.
I think lightweight as a yellow perk, increased movement speed by 5% would be very cool and balanced. Because 5% is a fucking lot, but you'd also have to give up amped for it. I think that would which wouldn't. Cool. Because it's a good idea,
I don't
it won't
know
happen.
if people would do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think people would do that.
Would you run
or
lightweight?
people would use it. No, not over amped.
Not
Absolutely
over
not.
amped. Yeah, exactly.
No shot. Now, some of these guys may, probably not though. Like I'm thinking like Joe Woe or people like that, but it's like they always run out of ammo because they're 1v4ing a squad, so they have to switch guns. So they're not going to use it. They're just going to kit out a gun that would have the fastest mobility and just use that versus using a purse that increases your speed. So
right.
I don't know. I guess that kind of makes sense. I don't think that would end up working well. I really don't know. So I'm just excited to see what they come up with.
I will be curious to see what they come up with. Yeah. I don't think lightweight would be blue just because it already has double time. That would be a little too redundant, I think. I don't think they would do that. But lightweight seems like a pretty easy perk to add that they might do. And I think if they do, it would be yellow. Another thing, by the way, if we got 2 new Warzone specific perks, guess what just got a lot fucking better? Specialist bonus. Now you got 2 more perks. Whatever they could be. So, which is more common spawn now. Cringe. So, we'll see how that fucking goes. But yeah, a lot of mix-ups here. But the high alert change, yeah, it's more like the dead silence not being reduced is awful. And then the last point, until then, we may see a weapon make its long-awaited debut in Verdansk. What? What weapon that is not in Verdansk?
They're just taking everything.
Long-awaited?
They're taking everything from my news articles. The CX9 is coming.
Oh, that. Okay. I see.
They showed a trailer in the new Payload LTM. There was a trailer for it. There was about a 6-second clip of the CX9 being reloaded and them aiming down the sight with a CX9, basically confirming that it's coming. It's a very short clip, so we're probably getting it in this update. Yeah, weird it's being thrown in now. I'm not against this at all, though. I'm excited to see this. I'm just worried now, because we're going to get into the weapon changes here in a second. I'm just worried they're going to take this gun, how it was when it was in the game for a very short period of time, months ago, and they're going to put it back in the game and forget about it, and it's going to be fucking busted compared to all of these. Because almost all of these weapon changes are nerfs, so we'll get into it in a second, but I could honestly see that happening, so hopefully that's not the case. That wouldn't be great. It's going to be interesting, too. Are we just all going to have the CX9 unlocked? Are we going to have to do a challenge for it? How's that going to work?
That's a good question. Hot take, I don't want the CX9. We have enough SMGs. They're all good and usable, and you can pick one, and there are enough of them. And for every possible niche you could want to fill, there's an SMG for you, actually, and they're all viable. And we're also getting a new SMG tonight. Do we need another fucking SMG? No, we don't. So I don't want the CX9. We don't need another one. We have fucking we have a dozen viable SMGs. We don't need a 13th. How about you give me an AR other than a Farah, and then maybe we can change the gameplay experience a little bit.
I'll get
but
into
once
it
again,
here.
Adding more content that doesn't change my gameplay experience. Cool, man. CX9 would have been awesome before you balanced SMGs, and good job balancing SMGs. I appreciate that. Take dead silence out of the fucking game and let me look east, but good job doing that. But we don't need the CX9. However, it does make sense. It will be the CX9. That's almost certainly what that means. Because, yeah, it has been long awaited. So, cool. Another SMG. Another viable SMG. I have 80 to choose from. Awesome. Now, Tanner, I don't know if you've gone through this list of bug fixes. Are any of these interesting and worth covering?
They fixed the dev error 5573. I think that was a big dev error. This is apparently is big for console players. Fixed an issue where the PS5 120 hertz mode couldn't be activated while HDR was enabled. So that has been fixed, because I saw a lot of console people talking about that, so that's good for them.
Yep.
Other than that, not much. Just a bunch of little fixes here and there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Some dirt bike changes, those don't matter.
Fix an issue causing the dirt bike icon to appear larger on the TAC map than other vehicles. No.
Oh, yeah.
The giant dirt bikes. Damn. Rip.
The giant dirt bikes. UI and more. Added 2 new tabs to the social menu to display recent squad mates and recent game lobby members that players can more easily find. friend and play with their recent team members. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's a nice little change there.
What they meant to say
So if
here,
you
by the
random-
way, yeah, exactly what you were going to say.
What?
Added 2 new tabs to the social menu to display recent squad mates and recent game lobby members so that players can more easily find, report, and block their recent cheaters in their last game. That's unironically what they wanted to say here, but it would look bad. But that is the entire purpose of this tab, is so that people can, instead of going to the recent players thing, they can do it more easily this way. I actually think that's what they.
Well, no, this is more for recent team members, because your team members would just be somewhere on that list of all the players in the last lobby. You could already see all the players in the last lobby before. Now it just put your team in a separate little thing. I think that's just for if you random fill lobbies and you end up liking who you're playing with, cringe. So you can befriend them easier.
Sure. Other players that the player interacted with during a match will be automatically sorted to the top of the recent lobby list.
Oh yeah, there's that part.
Oh, there it is. To make it easier to report instances of cheating and or toxicity. Shut up. Don't say toxicity.
Yeah,
I've never reported someone for toxicity. Because there's so many cheaters, I don't have time.
They have to try to like push it to the side, like, so you can report cheaters. Like, no, so you can report cheaters, toxicity, things that may happen. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, you know
you prick.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know damn well what you're doing. So interacted with, I would imagine that means if they kill you or if you kill them. So that's cool. That'll be great. Because, I mean, I don't even report cheaters anymore. When I die to one, I just stop playing the game. So I don't really need that, but that's great for people that somehow continue to play the game even though they keep dying to cheaters. That's cool. This next whole section here doesn't matter.
Except, well, so Tanner's an ableist and doesn't care about accessibility for the differently abled. Cringe.
Yeah, hey, if we have any deaf listeners,
cringe ableist piece of shit. So
if there are any deaf listeners who literally can't hear anything, now you can hear us say, like, what do you want me to do?
Well,
yeah, they added some accessibility.
Blind, low vision, and cognitive overload. Okay.
They've done a lot of that recently. This
cool.
Being an ableist actually must be like the new like gay thing, LGBTQ thing. I think this must be it, dude. Like, you can't, like, maybe people are hating on them a lot, so they're starting to do this shit. I don't know, but I've noticed a lot of games are getting huge into this recently, and they've done a ton of it in Warzone. Every patch recently, they've done a lot of it, and I've never seen this before, so that's cool. They're doing this.
Yeah, it is pretty unprecedented. I think this is really good, though. This is, by the way, accessibility shit for people who are differently abled, as they say now. They're disabled. Let's be honest. If I was a paraplegic, I would be disabled. I would be less abled. Differently abled is technically correct. I would be less abled. That's another way to put it. Certainly not enabled, but anyways, this is way more important than fucking putting LGBTQIA plus and like,
oh yeah, absolutely,
and like buy whatever flag calling cards. That doesn't help gay people. Hey, putting a rainbow flag as a Call of Duty calling card is not helping gay people, number one. But accessibility shit I think is super cool, because if I was a paraplegic, guess what I would be doing a lot? Gaming. Or if I was like fucking blind or nearly blind, I'd be gaming even more. So it is cool. It's very cool that they're making video games and this game more accessible to the differently abled. Now, I would urge all differently abled people to stop playing Warzone because the game fucking sucks. Let me be super clear. You shouldn't be playing at all. And I almost wish for your sake that they would make it harder for you to play because you shouldn't be playing, because this is a detriment to your health. And I lament each and every time I boot up this dog shit game. However, again, I think this is cool. I think this is actually important to do. And this is a good thing. So we're not going to go through the accessibility changes, but they're helping people who are, struggling, which is great. So that's cool. But we're not going through all these details. Holy shit, there's a lot. Awesome. All right, new weapons. Black Ops Cold War. OTS 9 and the mace melee, which we talked about. Melee weapons don't care. And then OTS 9. Full auto SMG, impressive firepower at close range with good visibility while firing. That implies it has good iron sights. That's actually quite important for an SMG, by the way. We'll see if that's true, because I will not take anything they say at their word.
Most SMGs have good irons, though. So
well,
kind of almost weird. To me, they also may have put that because maybe this gun won't be that good, so they're kind of struggle with things to say. They also said full auto SMG. I mean, yeah, I can imagine it's a submachine gun, right? Yeah, it's such an odd. I've never seen them say that. Good visibility while firing. It's just weird. I mean, I'm thinking of all of the SMGs I use. None of them I run optics with anyways, so it's like the visibility is probably fine either way, you know?
If this was CSGO where muzzle flash was like an impediment, then this would make sense, but there isn't muzzle flash in this game. I can see fine with every gun, unless the irons are atrocious. So yeah, I don't get what that means either. Reliable recoil control with a smaller magazine size. Interesting. So reliable recoil control plus impressive firepower equals slow rate of fire. That has to be the case. I totally agree with you, Tanner.
Smaller magazine size too. It's going to be slow fire.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little chunky boy, a slow chunky boy.
I don't know why.
Rather.
I just looked at it and thought it looked slow.
Yeah, so this is going to be either... I feel like this can't be a balanced gun in this meta. It's either going to be dog shit or fucking insanely busted. Yeah. And then it's going to be nerfed to be dog shit. So in 3 weeks, this gun will not be worth using. That's in any scenario. I'm calling it now. So
yeah,
we'll see. I could be wrong, but
I'd be surprised. To unlock it, by the way, if you want to unlock it, 2 or more kills rapidly in 15 different completed matches.
Oh God. With an SMG, you mean?
Yeah, with an SMG, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you could get that pretty easily in Warzone, actually, by just playing with a sub. If you take a building and you kill 2 people, you get it.
Yeah.
Definitely easier to do in multi, but still. Wait, how many double kills in a match?
Just
1.
2 double kills. Well, 2 rapid kills. So
1 double. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you could do 15 Warzone matches and get that probably. Okay, cool. And then they wrote a big blurb about some changes to weapons. Is this worth reading, Tanner? What do you think? Let's just read it.
Yeah. Most of it needs to be read, yeah.
The following changes are our first major step towards increasing the average time to kill within Warzone, so making guns kill more slowly, which is probably fake news. It is important to note that these weapon, I don't know why weapon is capitalized here, so they're dropping the ball already. Cool, man. Adjustments were not made in a vacuum. When evaluating an individual change, some may seem quite drastic, but they were made holistically and in a way that supported a lockstep increase in average TTK, across multiple weapon categories. Torso multipliers were a considerable focus of these changes, with how often they would act as flat damage increases, given how consistently that location, i.e. the torso, could be hit. Which makes sense. That's where everyone aims, and that's where aim assist tends to go. So that is most important for SMGs, I would say. With reductions to these multipliers, we're placing a bigger emphasis on precision, a move which we feel is ultimately healthy for the game. So they're trying to lower the torso multiplier to further incentivize aiming for headshots, for example, which no one does anyway. So interesting design choice, but we'll see. Statistically, there will always be a best weapon. This is the nature of a competitive game. Okay, players will seek out and employ any advantage they can, regardless of how minuscule it may be. We will take great care to ensure that the best weapon never overstays its welcome and has effectiveness that scales with the skill of the handler. Conversely, there are also a great deal of players who prefer a myriad of options to choose from. Our goal is to provide exactly that. We will continue to compress outliers, both over and underperforming, until each weapon is viable at the very least. We do not want players to feel they are at a distinct disadvantage for not conforming to the generally accepted best weapon.
Interesting.
We will be closely monitoring weapon performance to ensure that the game is in a healthy state following the biggest balance update in the history of Warzone. Wow. Those are some big words. So rhetorically, I'm on board with most of this. I do not like decreasing the torso multiplier because when you want to incentivize just headshots, let's be honest, no one's aiming for the head. I never aim for the head in Warzone unless I'm using a sniper.
Yeah,
So,
not really in Warzone yet.
So what that means is guns are going to be, or gunfights are going to be more determined by who accidentally flinches and or recoils to the head more in that particular gunfight. That's my guess. We'll see how it plays out. But having insane headshot multipliers on SMGs doesn't matter. No one aims for the head. And even if you try to, if you're on the sticks, which most players are, aim assist is going to pull you down toward the torso.
Yeah.
Which isn't to say you can't land headshots or try for headshots on a controller, but it's very counterintuitive and not worth doing. So, interesting. That's the only thing rhetorically I disagree with. By and large, I like the rhetoric. But let's see how the actual changes are. So, AK-47 Cold War. Headshot multiplier 1.62 to 1.5. Upper torso 1.2 to 1.1. Pretty fat nerf. Okay, this is interesting. The Modern Warfare AK-47, which no one has used in Warzone in 6 months, not one person. Upper torso multiplier 1.2 to 1.1. Cool.
Yeah, they nerf it.
Cool.
They just, it goes to show you they don't play their game. Yeah, so I'm going to say this right now. They said, quote, the biggest balance update in the history of Warzone. I've already gone through all of these. It looks like a lot of changes. Most of them are not big changes. They're very small numbers that I don't think is going to affect a lot of these guns a whole lot. Some of them are a different story. There's some guns that actually got some major changes. But a lot of these, like that AK, even the Cold War AK, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Headshot multiplier from 1.62 to 1.5. That's not that much. I mean, that may not even end up being, I don't know. Upper torso from 1.2 to 1.0. That's kind of bigger, but yeah, a lot of these changes are very small. So I don't know.
Yeah. When there are updates like this, and we'll probably have a little more to say on this once we're done, but when there are updates like this where like fucking almost every weapon gets hit with something, it's impossible to predict how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
You know, if one weapon changes, like if this patch was like the FARA multiplier for torso went from 1.3 to 1.0, okay, I can tell you what's next. People stop using the FARA, C58 becomes the best gun, no problem. But when every fucking gun changes, which is what it looks like this happened here,
yeah,
there's no way to tell you. There's no way to predict how that's going to play. So we'll see. C58, headshot 1.62 to 1.58, upper torso 0.2 to 1.0, lower torso 0.1 to 1.0. Maximum damage range increased by 8%, recoil increased. By and large, a nerf. Only change that was beneficial was maximum damage range increased by 8%. By the way, that doesn't matter. The maximum damage range on a C58 is probably, let's call it 25 meters. Let's call it 30 to be super generous. 8% of 30 meters is less than 3 meters.
Yeah.
So 8%. So maximum damage range means its first damage drop off. This doesn't matter at all. 30 to 32 meters at the most. Doesn't matter. So this is basically just a nerf.
Even headshot multiplier decreased from 162 to 158. When is that even going to make a difference of a bullet ever?
Yeah, that's very odd.
That's what I don't get about these multipliers. It's like, when is that going to affect it? Like at long distance, maybe? Like if you're hitting, if one of the bullets hitting a head at 80 meters, like when is that going to actually make a difference in the time to kill? I don't get that type of stuff right there. That doesn't make sense to me.
There are probably instances where it's like, okay, if someone has 2 plates, you shoot the arm twice in the head once, they die. How much do we have to reduce the headshot multiplier so that doesn't happen?
Yeah.
There are instances, but they're just very niche. So I'm not opposed to that, but it is pretty odd.
No, it's just weird that they go from 162 to 158. It's like, how did they?
Yeah.
I mean, you would think they would figure that out somehow and had to do some testing. So yeah, it has to decrease the time to kill in instances.
Very
at some
particular
point, but
instances.
it's like,
yeah, exactly. Which is weird.
I feel like a lot of thought and time goes into these weapon balances, these weapon balancing updates. Instead of course, other things. A lot of time it seems to be put into this shit.
It's kind of the conundrum that I find with Raven is like they spend all this time and thought on balancing all these weapons, but it just doesn't matter when everyone's cheating.
Yeah.
I don't care how you change this gun when there's so many cheaters. And another thing too is like, you know, you balance all these weapons, and what if you change a headshot multiplier from 0.62 to 0.58, 1.62 to 1.58, you're obviously meticulously looking at spread shots, time to kills, and permutations of which regions are being shot and how many shots it takes, and trying to lower it by just 1 but not gut the gun. You're obviously looking at data, and you're armchair theorizing how to like nerf the gun in the way you want. It's very obvious that they're spending a lot of time looking at the data and the spreadsheets and making changes based on that, but the critical key component they're missing is playtesting.
Yeah, true.
Actually.
True. Yeah.
They think that they can make a healthy meta by merely looking at the numbers and predicting what needs to be changed to make a healthy meta based on statistics alone. But you have to playtest these things because there will be unknown variables.
Yeah.
There will be unknown variables. That's what happened probably with the Cold War barrels. They probably said on paper, this puts these guns in line with MW guns. Okay, but on paper doesn't tell the whole story in a video game, because the FARA has no recoil. It's none. Why would I use anything else? And again, just like you said, this is evidence of the fact that even though they try really hard and look at all the fucking spreadsheets and they compile all the analytics and they look at every fucking user's data, whatever, they don't actually play the game, and it's obvious. It's obvious they don't play test the game. It's very interesting. What are you gonna say?
What was I gonna say? I don't remember anymore. I don't know. It wasn't that important.
Cool, man. Anyway, C58 nerfed a lot. Yeah, a lot. The upper torso 0.2 to 1. That's 20% less upper torso and 10% less lower. Yikes. AMAX. Okay. Oh boy. AMAX. Headshot 0.5 to 0.55. Upper torso 0.1 to 0.0. By the way, you can assume there's a 1 point in front of all of these. I'm not repeating that 20,000 times tonight. So obviously there is no gun that has a 0.0 headshot multiplier. Use your brains. It's 1.1 to 1.0, but I'm done putting the prefix. It's the same all the time. So yeah, headshot got increased by 5%, and then upper torso decreased by 10%, which is odd.
Like what they said, they want people to aim for the head, I guess.
Exactly, but no one does that with an AMAX. The way people get headshots with the way people get headshots with an AMAX is by firing the gun, and the gun does it for you because it's got recoil. So why are you doing this? No one's aiming for the head with an AMAX anyway, especially an AMAX. So odd. So I would say overall, hard to say. I'd have to play test it, which they didn't do. Assault rifle Bravo, I don't know what that is. So the modern
I'm
warfare,
trying to look this up. if I can.
Why do they still do this?
I don't fucking get it, bro.
Assault rifle Bravo for Modern Warfare. That's the gun.
That's the FR556.
Okay. So this is the
gun.
burst fire FAMAS. I don't know. Okay, so now I see. Oh my God. I'm just going to read them to you. Headshot
Holy
multiplier went from 2.05 to 1.62. Cool.
So they
man.
nerfed one of the worst assault rifles in the game.
Probably the worst assault rifle in Warzone history is the FR556. I don't think there's ever been a worse assault rifle, actually. And they've nerfed it a lot. So it has 40% less fucking headshot damage. 43%. Cool. Upper torso also decreased.
Yeah, it's,
From 1.5 to 1 or 1.2 to 1.1.
I don't get it.
Cool, man. So for all of you out there who love the FR556,
That's the worst gun in the game.
It's been nerfed. Cool.
Holy shit. Dude, I wonder if they're doing this because cheaters were using this gun or something with an insane headshot multiplier like that. Maybe they nerfed it to help with the cheating problem.
Point. Actually, probably. That's a good point. They probably did.
Because I've seen a lot of clips of cheaters using that gun specifically.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
As a burst fire weapon, they have no recoil and it all hits in the head. That's one burst is more than enough to kill someone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So cringe. Farah. This is important. Maximum damage decreased from 31 to 29. I'm assuming that means inside of its first damage range, it's one extra shot to kill. Doesn't matter that much. Because the problem with the Farah is not dying inside 30 meters, it's dying at 60. So, okay. Recoil increased. And that's not much to go off of, right? So, Tanner, do you think they increased the recoil of the Farah enough to make it not the best gun indisputably in the video game? Especially after the C58 nerfs as well.
Yeah, this sounds like it's hit pretty hard.
Really?
Again, recoil increase doesn't tell me anything. I need to see that. And I get how they can't. I mean, you can at least put a percentage, I guess. Say maybe recoil increased by this percentage. So I don't know what that means. They could say increase and it can move a very small amount. But yeah, I mean, this may be enough because this is what, the second time now that they've hit the recoil on the Farah?
Yes. Excuse me.
So that makes sense. This actually, that may be a good change. We'll see.
I don't know, because the second best AR in Warzone was the C58. But on paper, the C58 got hit way harder than the Farah on this patch. Because the C58 also got the change, quote, recoil increased, end quote. So call those a wash. And then the C58 had 4 other nerfs. And then the Farah has 1 other, which is the maximum damage decreased from 31 to 29. The problem with the Farah was never its max damage. Because max damage means headshots inside of its first damage range. That was never the issue with the Farah. That is never what made the Farah good. What made the Farah good was it had no recoil and could beam you from any range. And that, therefore, maximum damage being decreased has no bearing on that and doesn't really matter. So it's going to depend on how much the recoil got increased. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
most of the pros actually have been using the C58 recently.
Really?
That's kind of what I've noticed.
It is chunky.
So
it is
chunky for sure.
Chunky. So anyway,
Farah is just more of a user-friendly gun.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's good. Because I think that brings the Farah now more in line with the FR556 since that was so busted before with the headshot multiplier. So yeah, these are more in line now. So hey, Farah, FR556. I don't know. It's still tough, but
yeah, maybe we're out of FAMAS zone. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So speaking of FAMAS, FFAR Cold War, headshot multiplier 0.5 to 0.4, max damage 27 to 25, minimum damage 25 to 23, max damage range decreased 20%. That's actually pretty big. That's 30 to like 24, for example. I think. Yes, that's a lot. Neck multiplier increased from 1 to 1.2. Okay.
Nobody was using this gun. Nobody's been using the FFAR.
Why? I want to know the process by which they do all of these changes. All right, we have to nerf all these things, but we have to increase the neck multiplier, which is an actual 2-pixel hitbox. What?
Well, and also they say they want headshots to like be more meaningful and people go for headshots, but then they keep nerfing the headshot multiplier in all these guns. What do you want? What are you trying to do here? I mean, I haven't been killed with the FFAR since it was meta 3 months ago.
Actually, literally.
Like, I can see them making a couple changes. Sure, maybe, I don't know, decrease the range, I guess. I mean, why does it need 5 separate nerfs, though? It's just so weird. But the Farah, one of like 2 ARs that have been dominant recently, gets 2 nerfs. But a gun that nobody's using gets 5 nerfs.
That's the issue.
They don't play their game. Like you're saying, it's all on paper. They don't actually test this shit and play the game.
Actually, yep. I have no problem with them doing like giant nerfs to every gun just because they want to make the time to kill slower. That's fair. But if you're going to do that, then do it to all guns, including the most used gun in Warzone history, the Farah. So I would be fine with this if they had also done something even more drastic to the Farah, but they didn't. So then I'm just lost. And what it really looks like so far is that they want to gut guns that take some skill to use and really not touch the guns that are super user friendly. Like you said, the Farah. That's what it looks like so far to me. So
yeah,
let's move on here. Assault rifle golf, which I believe is the Scar.
Nope.
Okay. Odin?
Read what happened to the gun. Yeah, it's the Odin. It's the Odin.
Cringe.
Holy shit. I'm going to go pee.
Cool, man. Upper torso multiplier decreased from 1.2 to 1.1 for the Odin. Okay. I mean, once again, I wouldn't be mad at this if they had also changed the Farah considerably, but they didn't. So why do we have to nerf all this shit no one uses and not touch the Farah? Unless the Farah's recoil was drastically increased, then none of these other changes make any sense. So it's possible that the Farah's recoil was increased by a magnitude that overshadows every other recoil increase on the patch notes this evening. But if they did do that, they should have been more clear about it. Number one, by saying the recoil was increased dramatically. And number two, I would have expected them to say that. So the fact that they didn't means it probably wasn't increased dramatically. In which case, again, to my original point, they needed to change the Farah way more if they're going to change all these other guns way more. Cringe. The only way these patch notes are acceptable is if the Farah's recoil was dramatically increased and they just forgot to say that. But I suspect that is not the case again. So we'll see. So again, Odin multiplier, upper torso, 1.2 to 1.1. Cool. So dumb. I'm curious if they changed the kilo, by the way, if they removed that extra damage drop off. All right, next, the Growl 556 MW. Minimum damage increased from 22 to 24. Okay, this is the first change that is good.
Yep, exactly. This is fine.
I like this. Because minimum damage means the damage that is being done at the farthest damage range, which is when ARs are which is the damage range that matters with ARs. So that's good, because the Growl definitely needed some love. Next is, I'm gonna fart. Hold on.
I wonder if that's good enough to put it back in the meta. Maybe probably just outside the meta still.
That's actually a good question. That
could be interesting.
Well,
still be better than the kilo, that's for sure.
Definitely, of course, yeah. Ooh, I wonder if it would be. You know what this would make it? You know what this would be really good for? Actually, is your primary AR with irons on Resurgence.
Yeah. I was thinking Rebirth too. Yeah.
Yeah, Rebirth Island. I mean, yeah. That's probably what it would be good for. I still don't think this would be the meta in Verdansk, but we'll see. Groza. Max damage 28 to 27. Doesn't matter. Actually does matter for the Groza, because that's kind of a close range AR. So that's interesting. Max damage range increased by 4.5%. That doesn't matter at all. That is actually less than 2 meters, almost certainly. Cool. Headshot multipliers, 0.62 to 0.5, K. Upper torso, 0.2 to 0.12, K. Lower torso, 0.1 to 0.0, K. Recoil pattern smoothed. All of this almost sounds like they're trying to turn the Groza from a close range AR into a normal one. That's what
I was kind of thinking too.
Right?
Because it got 5 nerfs, but then they smoothed the recoil pattern. So again, I don't know what they're doing with this gun. I'm sensing a trend here. All of the guns that people don't use are the ones getting nerfed the hardest. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, this is weird.
This doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, that's very odd. So that'll be interesting. Krig 6, minimum damage 25 to 26. That's pretty fucking big. That's actually pretty big, especially for the Krig, because that thing has no recoil and it had a decent but not good time to kill. And minimum damage means damage that is happening at AR long range distances, and that got increased by 1 point. I don't know how often that will translate into 1 fewer bullet to kill, but if that is the case with any consistency, the Krig just got a lot better. It depends on how many scenarios a 1 damage increase would change the number of shots to kill.
Yeah.
If that is in 40% of all gunfights at long range, then that's a giant buff, actually. Because the Krig's already very easy to use and is close to being viable. So this could be a big buff, actually, for a Krig. It's possible. I know that sounds like nothing, but for an AR like the Krig, that's an actual pretty decent change.
I don't think the Krig is getting much better. I just think with everything else getting nerfs, it'll put it more towards like the top tier
yeah, that's
level.
Another good point. I'm on board for that, by the way. Maybe. Well, Krig might be too easy.
It just feels so stupid. I don't know. I just don't like the Krig.
I love how the Krig feels.
I hate it.
I love it. We don't like the same guns, because I love the Ram too, and you just fucking
Ram's
hate
dog
it.
shit. Yeah,
yeah, cringe.
They nerfed it to the ground, thankfully.
No shot. Did they actually?
It was way too good. We'll get into it.
No.
They didn't nerf it to the ground, but they nerfed it. Yeah.
Fuck me. Fuck these dog shit devs, dude.
They're idiots. Yeah.
I'm mauled, and we'll get into it. M13, minimum damage 19 to 20. Again, just like the Krig, big buff. Maybe. Again, Grow. Like the Grow, this could be a really good primary in Rebirth now. Possibly. Depends on how many scenarios that decreases shots to kill in.
Yeah.
Assault Rifle Charlie.
M4.
Are you? I thought M4 was Assault Rifle Alpha.
According to this picture I'm looking at, Assault Rifle Alpha is M13.
Okay.
Charlie is M4.
Okay. Okay, because you said Assault Rifle Golf was an Odin, and now we're talking about the Odin again. So the Assault Rifle... Okay, so I don't trust you. So let's
I'm literally looking at the image. I'll send you... Which one did I say was the Odin?
Assault Rifle Golf.
Yeah, okay, then these screenshots on this website I'm looking from must be super old and they changed it, because I'm literally looking at it. Assault Rifle Golf, and it says Odin.
Okay, then yeah.
I don't know when this article was posted.
Yep, so this is fucking Raven's fault. So Assault Rifle Golf, I don't know what it is. I think it's the Scar, which is what we talked about earlier. Golf is the Scar, that's what I thought, yeah. So, L, what is Assault Rifle Charlie?
Why are these images wrong?
What more importantly, this isn't your fault, Tanner. Don't blame yourself. And don't blame the writers of those articles. Blame fucking blame whoever's writing these patch notes. Raven. Fuck you, Raven. Put the name of the goddamn gun. It's that simple. Why are we doing this for 2 years? There is no world where it's too hard for you to figure out what Assault Rifle Charlie is. If it's too much work for you to do it, it's too much work for fucking me too. It's your fucking game. Tell me what the gun is called. It's so simple. Holy shit. So fucking embarrassing. Such an embarrassing company. It's so fucking stupid. Here are the code names. Cool. Thank you, L. All right. Assault Rifle Charlie, according to this website at least, is the M4. So you both said M4. Maybe this is the M4 from MW. Who fucking knows? We'll find out. Max damage decreased 28 to 27. For an assault rifle, again, I don't think this matters. Minimum damage increased from 22 to 23. I think overall, again, this is a buff because we're talking about an AR. And for the same reason as the M13 and the Grau, the minimum damage increase and how impactful that is depends on how many types of scenarios or permutations of scenarios that a minimum damage increase would result in one fewer shot to kill, because that would mean the time to kill in those scenarios is greatly reduced, making the gun a lot better. So M4 overall, I would say this is a buff. Pretty interesting. Odin. Upper torso multiplier, 0.3 to 0.2. Cool. Doesn't matter. No one uses it. QBZ. Minimum damage, 22 to 24. Okay. And now we're seeing new items. Base movement speed reduced by 3%. Cool. Okay. Base ADS move speed reduced by 5%.
It did have good ADS moving speed.
That was one of the only reasons to use a QBZ, and it's gone. See ya. Upper torso multiplier, 0.1 to 0.2. Holy shit. Lower torso multiplier, 0.0 to 0.1. Wow.
That's the biggest buff we've seen is the QBZ.
That is actually a giant buff, because minimum damage increase plus more multipliers means a lot faster time to kill. What are your thoughts on this change?
I think that's good. I feel like the QBZ still has like an odd recoil pattern. Like it kind of goes, I think it's got a lot of horizontal recoil along with the vertical. So it still shoots weird. I think kind of what you're saying about the Groza, they're trying to get this to be a normal AR instead of people using it as like a SMG or something. But QBZ was one of the least used Cold War ARs. So that makes sense that they're doing all these, buffs to it.
Yeah, agreed. This is, as you said, the biggest buff we've seen. And it is possible that this gun becomes very meta. Because this is a lot of buffs, big buffs, and the QBZ has very little recoil. So this could be good, or it could be overpowered, or it could be not enough. Like I said, there's so many changes going on that it's impossible to say. But QBZ is on my list of guns I need to try again.
Yeah, for sure.
So that'll be very interesting. Ram 7. Oh, this isn't that bad. Max damage decreased from 28 to 26. I don't think max damage matters that much for ARs, because you're not getting max damage at assault rifle ranges ever anyway. So that's unfortunate, but I don't care.
So it'll just be worse up close pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm kind of like, don't care. Yeah. So that's interesting. XM4 from Cold War. Max damage decreased from 32 to 30. That's actually pretty big for the XM4, because a lot of people use this as like a sniper secondary. So that's actually pretty fucking big.
Yeah.
Minimum damage, 28 to 27. So it's also worse at long range now too. ADS speed decreased and recoil increased, both slightly. What are your thoughts?
They don't want us using ARs as SMGs. That's what they are doing here for sure. That is what
it seems like, huh? Because they did that with the Groza
with the
and the
ADS speed.
XM4.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me.
And the QBZ,
which I'm fine with, because we do have a lot of good SMGs, so that's fine. Interesting that it just may make some of these guns not good enough to compete at assault rifle ranges, and it's like that's why people were using them as ARs, like a Cold War AK. It's like that most people I think were using, if anything, as more of like a SMG or mid-range build, because it was too hard to use at long ranges.
Yes.
So it's like things like that, if you nerf their like minimum or their maximum damage range, then it's kind of rendering that gun useless almost, because like if people can't control it the way it's supposed to be used as an AR, then the gun's just going to be useless.
Yeah. That's actually a good
I don't
point.
think that's happened. I don't think that's happened exactly, but that's kind of more what they're like leaning towards.
Yeah, I I agree with everything you just said. That's actually a really good point. I hadn't thought of that, but I am with you in that if you don't want ARs to be used as SMGs, that's fine, and I'm on board with that. Because I don't want to go back to what the FFAR meta was, where no one used an SMG because the FFAR was so insane.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm fine with that. I'm with them on that. However, you do have to be careful because you do still want some ARs to be viable medium range when you're sniping. So they're at least usable up close. If not as good as an SMG, they should at least be somewhat competitive. And you don't want to get too far away from that. So the dance you're playing is you don't want an AR to be the best gun inside 15 meters, but you also want it to be competitive inside 15 meters for those of your player base who snipe and are going to use an AR as a secondary. So I agree with you. I also agree with you that we're not there yet. We're not to the point where you have to use a Milano 3X with your sniper. I don't think we're there yet. I think ARs are still usable up close. But don't know for sure. We're going to have to play with these guns and kind of find out. If anything, I think the best AR to use with a sniper right now, from the looks of these patch notes, is probably going to be a fucking Grau or an M13 with irons, actually. I think these are going to be the best sniper companions. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think it's making that. I don't think the changes are that much to do that. No, I'm not using an iron sight M13. I'll tell you that much too.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. But a Grau, not because they got buffed so much, but because everything else that you would use with a sniper got nerfed so much. That's more what I'm saying.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know.
What would you use with a sniper right now? Because I certainly wouldn't use a Cold War AK anymore. I certainly wouldn't use an XM4 either.
I think I'd still use a Cold War AK actually, because they didn't decrease like the minimum or maximum damage range. It was just it was just multipliers.
And they didn't decrease the handling either. The handling is still the same, so that's a fair point.
So I think that'll still be fine. Yeah, XM4 on the other hand is a little bit more chalked for close range, a little bit more.
Yeah, agreed. So. Again, these are just going to be things we have to try, but we'll see. Next, LMGs, the M60. Max damage, 36 to 37. Okay. M60 is terrible in Warzone, so this doesn't matter.
I don't care about any of these LMGs, honestly.
Headshot multiplier, 1.5 to 1.6. M60 will still not be worth using, so it doesn't matter. MG34, which is, I think, the fastest killing full auto weapon in the game at long range, is the MG34. Not that anyone uses it,
yeah,
of
I think
course,
so.
But I think that's true. Max damage, 31 to 29. Minimum damage, 28 to 27. Headshot, 0.5 to 0.4. Upper torso, 0.1 to 0.0. So
one of the least used LMGs again was nerfed the hardest.
So no one uses an MG34 before this, and they certainly won't now. MG82, ADS speed decreased slightly, so it's even slower. Cool. Don't care. Light machine gun alpha and MDub. What's the first LMG you get in MDub? Let me try to access 2 years old memories. Oh boy. Oh, let me look at this little chart here.
PKM according to the link.
PKM sounds right. Okay. Well, maybe. Max damage 31 to 32. Okay. Damage range. Max damage range decreased by 7%. Doesn't matter. And the maximum damage also doesn't matter, by the way. Upper torso multiplier decreased 0.1 to 0.0. Okay. I have no strong opinions on this. SA-87 nerfed, upper torso multiplier 0.2 to 0.1. Cool. And then light machine gun alpha in Cold War, which is the... I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's the RPD.
Stoner? RPD, really? Interesting.
It's the Stoner or the RPD.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know, because that assault rifle alpha you talking about, L's link says it's the PKM. My link says it's the M91. So it's one of those, right?
Yeah, cool. Cool game. Cool patch writers. So on LMG in Cold War that is not the M60 had its max damage decreased from 34 to 33 and its upper torso multiplier 0.1 to 0.0. Cool.
Yeah.
Swiss K31. This is actually kind of important. ADS animation updated. That kind of sucks because the ADS animation looked wonky as fuck, but I liked it. Now
Did
shares
look a
a
little
base
wonky.
reticle with the ZRG. Whoa!
That's huge.
That's interesting.
So for having no changes to like its overall damage or anything, the Swiss, I think that's one of the two of the biggest changes out of all these guns, honestly. Useful changes. Because that was the issue people had mostly with the Swiss, so they didn't like the default reticle.
And
so
the
this
ZRG
is going to be
reticle is actually quite good.
ZRG reticle is very clean, yeah. And the ADS animation, it's kind of hard to explain. I get what they're talking about. It's kind of like that you pulled the gun up at a weird angle. So that'll be interesting to see how that works. Because it didn't change the speed of it. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Yeah, the base reticle of the ZRG is quite good. Definitely better than any Swiss reticle that's ever existed, so that's pretty interesting. And now we got a lot of SMG changes as well. AK-74U, max damage 35 to 31, minimum 25 to 26. That's a giant nerf. So max damage matters a lot with SMGs, matters not at all with ARs. And minimum damage is the inverse. So these are the exact opposite. And this has to do with what ranges you're using these guns at. With an SMG, you're going to be using it in its max damage range almost every time. Whereas with an AR, you're almost never using it at its max damage range. That's why minimum damage matters more with ARs and less with SMGs. So max damage decrease 35 to 31 for the AK-74U. Really giant fucking nerf. Headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.60, upper torso multiplier 1 to 1.1, and bullet velocity increased by 5%. Okay, that upper torso multiplier is fucking big, actually, for an SMG. Would you call this a nerf or a buff?
I don't know. I was about to say it seems like now they're making the SMGs perform more like SMGs, but then they increase the bullet velocity, so that goes against what I thought there. I don't know. These are just more changes, I think. Yeah, the gun is kind of just altered a little bit. I don't really know.
Yep.
I still just AK-74 for me is just one of those that I don't find myself using ever. So I don't care too much about this unless all the other guns were like nerfed a lot, then I would care. But yeah, you don't see the 74 being used. Kind of has a weird recoil pattern too. Iron sights are fine, but they're a little odd. It's just, yeah, it's a weird gun. I don't know how to explain it.
It is a weird gun. I like the AK-74U. Yeah,
I tried to for a while. I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to call this a buff or a nerf. This is something where you just have to play to figure out. Submachine Gun Alpha in MW. Don't know what that is. It's the first SMG you get. MP5.
It's the AUG.
It might be the AUG. So maybe the AUG.
Maybe. Yeah.
Minimum damage 25 to 26. Headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.47. I have nothing to add on this. The AUG is still not going to be worth using. Bullfrog, Cold War. Max damage 32 to 31. Headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.5. That's really big. Left, no fucking shot. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. There's no shot that there exists. No way. I'm being trolled. Charlie Intel's trolling me. There's no chance that there is a left upper arm and a right upper arm multiplier and that they are different, right? Tanner, help me out. Am I misunderstanding?
What do you mean? From like lower left arm or something? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, why the fuck is this patch note not upper arm multiplier?
I don't know. They just worded it that way to make it sound like a bigger buff.
And also,
which it does.
I didn't know an upper arm multiplier existed.
Well, that's what I'm more curious about. So does that mean shooting somebody in their bicep and their hand has different damage values?
Apparently
if so, then
yeah.
I guarantee every single damage value that J God and TGD have ever put out is incorrect.
What I was thinking.
Because they have never, as far as I know, had a difference in those.
There's no chance they tested this. Why would you?
No, why? Yeah, I'm not blaming them at all. That's weird.
This is very.
It should just be arm.
Yeah, this is.
Arm should
weird.
go from your fingertip to where your shoulder is, right? like an arm. That's how it should be. It should just be one value.
Yeah. Or
regardless.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, regardless, these changes make the bullfrog a lot better, because that was the bullfrog's problem, is you had to hit headshots. So they nerfed the headshot multiplier and they increased the multipliers for legs and arms.
So upper leg and upper arm on either side of their character. Imagine if the right arm had a different multiplier than the left. It's like, all right, make sure you aim for his right bicep.
Yeah, right.
Make sure you're not hitting his left bicep. He won't take as much damage. It's so dumb. Raven patch writers, I'm pretty mauled at you for delineating left versus right upper arm. What are we doing? So yeah, I think upper arm, if they want that to be a separate region than the lower arm, fine. Tie it into upper torso though. This is getting too crazy. This is outrageous. So we have lower leg, upper leg, lower torso, upper torso, lower arm, upper arm, neck, and head. That is 8 different multipliers.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to yourselves? That is too much to balance. That's impossible to balance. Stop it. Stop it. But anyway, okay. So upper arm and leg multipliers all went from 0.9 to 1.0 for the bullfrog. I agree with Tanner's assessment on this. This is by and large a buff to the bullfrog. It makes it a lot more consistent and easier to, maybe not. Well, I would say easier actually, because you don't have to aim for headshots as much anymore. You're less reliant on headshots and more reliant on just hitting center mass, which is good, I think. However, max damage 32 to 31 might mean this is overall still a nerf, which I think might be true.
Yeah.
I think probably
is.
I
agree with that.
So it's kind of a small nerf to the bullfrog, but way more consistent of a gun now, which I think is probably good, because the bullfrog was entirely too reliant on headshots. KSP, headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.57, wasn't worth using, still isn't. LC10, max damage 30 to 27, yikes. That's big.
That's big.
Minimum damage 25 to 24, pretty big for an LC10, because that's a longer range SMG. Headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.55. Okay. So don't use the LC10 anymore, unless every gun got gutted like this.
Yeah.
So odd. Mac 10, max damage 24 to 23, minimum damage 20 to 19. Okay. Mac 10 is probably still fine.
Yeah.
In my view. Milano.
I agree.
Recoil increased slightly. They've been watching too much TikTok. They think an axial on a Milano is actually worth using, so they increase the recoil. Cringe.
Yep.
Play the game instead of watching TikTok.
Thinking.
Get off TikTok and get on the fucking game. Gary from dev team.
Fuck you, Gary.
Max damage range decreased by 12%. Once again, watching too many TikToks. No one actually uses it that way. Headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.38. That's giant.
Yeah.
Upper torso 0.2 to 0.1. Lower torso 0.1 to 0.0. Milano.
So Milano's shocked.
If you have an open bolt delay in addition to all these nerfs, the Milano becomes completely worthless and not worth using at all. So Milano's out. See ya. Cringe. Submachine gun alpha and Cold War. Why? Why?
What is the real reason they do this? I don't fucking get it. Why? Seriously, why do they name them this way?
To piss me off. Actually, that's what I'm beginning to think.
It's so stupid, bro.
I'm just being trolled. So I don't know what SMG alpha is in Cold War. I would assume this is the MP5. What's the first SMG in Cold War?
I don't know. I played about 12 hours of it.
Guys, I really tried, but I don't know what this means. MP5, according to chat. Thank
MP5,
you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spanky. Desade, change it. Appreciate it. Max damage, 33 to 31. Minimum damage, 25 to 24. This doesn't seem that bad, and I bet you the Cold War MP5 is still really good up close.
Yeah, that's
to be honest.
Agreed. Nothing major changing there.
Nail gun. Max damage 50 to 46. Headshot multiplier 0.62 to 0.45. Upper torso 0.28 to 0.0. Nail gun's chalked.
That was a giant upper torso multiplier before on that nail gun.
That is giant. Yeah, actually. So the nail gun's no longer even remotely close to
a lot of these are like 1.1 beforehand. So yeah, good.
Yeah. And that's worth it. So I'm happy about this. So fuck the nail gun. Submachine gun Echo. I have no hope of guessing what this is. In MW. I have no hope. Maybe a Fennec.
Bison.
Oh, the Bison. Okay. Cool. This is what the Bison needed. Max damage, 35 to 34.
Fuck you, Raven.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Minimum it's like they're changing every weapon in basically the same way because they're assuming every weapon's just as good as the other right now, and they just want to decrease time to kill or increase time to kill across the board. That's not the case, though. That's not the case. So cringe. Minimum damage, 25 to 26. That doesn't matter. So Bison's not worth using. PPSH, max damage, 28 to 26. It's pretty big. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how
maximum
that
damage.
fares.
I feel like PPSH was like mid-tier anyways, and it'll just continue to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. ISO, minimum damage, 20 to 21. No one uses an ISO at its minimum damage range, so that doesn't matter at all.
You can increase that from 20 to 40 and it still wouldn't be usable.
Literally, it wouldn't be. Literally. Because no one's using SMGs at their minimum damage range. Because even if it was 40, a fucking un-AR would still be better. So this is so dumb. Submachine gun Delta from MW. Don't know what that is either. We have to just make a chart of what these things mean. The Uzi. Okay, that's actually an interesting gun. Minimum damage, 25 to 26. For the Uzi in particular, that is interesting. Because that's a gun that has little enough recoil to where minimum damage range might matter. Now, let me be clear, it doesn't, but it's closer than most SMGs to mattering. Still doesn't, but it's closer.
Yeah.
So, cool. Fennec, MW. Max damage, 25 to 24. Minimum 20 to 19. Cool. All right, so overall SMGs, what are your thoughts on those changes?
Mostly everything was hit, so pretty much everything nerfed. I don't think the biggest change for me is a bullfrog. Because a bullfrog is fun to use, especially on Rebirth with an 85 round mag. So now that you can hit people in the arm and leg and it be more consistent with the damage, then, you know, that's a good thing. So bullfrog, I think, will be the next one up for me to experiment with. Milano's absolutely chalked. Everything else is just small changes, kind of equal increase in the time to kill, maybe.
Yeah.
Pretty much across the board.
Yeah. The only other thing I would add is the AK-74U is another weapon to look at. It got mostly nerfs. However, upper torso 0.0 to 1.1 is pretty big because that's most of where your shots are going to be landing with an SMG. And a 10% damage increase to the most landed region is actually maybe potentially pretty significant. So... yeah. I don't know. However, the max damage went from 35 to 31, but I think that refers to close range headshots. That's what max damage would mean, right? So, I don't know.
Well, that's the other thing is you keep saying that, what that means, but their meaning of this could be something entirely different, and we're just missing it all. We don't really know what maximum damage range and minimum damage range mean in their eyes.
The ranges,
we don't know what
we
that
know
means.
what those means, but the maximum damage period.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not... I mean, we could be wrong about all trying to explain all of this, but there's no way of knowing that, and they won't ever say that, so that's just what we're guessing, because that makes the most sense. Also funny, by the way, how we did that Patreon episode talking about MW guns we wanted buffed, and we went over all those, because the guns, so many of them are so fucking bad, and then here we go, and they nerf half of them.
Almost, yeah.
All of these guns,
gutted.
Where we went through and said... these need to be changed because they're so bad, they're not usable in Warzone. Buff them in this way. What did they do? They nerf them. Out of touch. They don't play their game. They don't know what belongs, what needs to change. They're out of touch with the community. No fucking clue what they're doing.
I completely agree. It's like what they're doing is they're looking at True Game Data's website, because they don't know these numbers themselves, and they're creating data and spreadsheets based off of that, number one, and their own maybe internal database knowledge. And then they're also looking at user statistics for what guns are most used by the community. And they're taking these data sets and they're making changes based on these data sets. And the component that they are missing is the most important component, which is, of course, playtesting. And no one at Raven has ever played Warzone. Not for an hour. I'm joking, but also I would be shocked if anyone who had any weight and input into patch notes, or rather changes to the game and weapon balance, played Warzone more than 90 minutes a week. I would be shocked, because all of these changes reek of a bunch of hardworking people who compile a lot of data but don't play the game. And this goes back to what I've said in jest, but also partly serious. If you guys don't want to pay these people to play the game, that makes sense. If I was a company, I probably would be leery of doing that as well. You guys need to get some consultants, actually.
Yeah.
You literally need to go look at, like, players who play this game a lot, who you probably already have a relationship with, by the way. So, like, Symphony. He's like an upstanding, fucking well-to-do little kid. He's pretty clean. He plays Warzone a lot. And he's got a good relationship with Activision, I'm sure. I like Symphony. I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying these things are all probably true. He probably already has a working relationship with them. So what you guys need to do is reach out to Symphony and say, hey, listen, we need a consultant for Warzone because none of us play the game. We have a lot of data, but none of us have ever played the game before. So we would like to buy 2 hours of your time every month, or for every season patch or season reloaded patch. And I want you to give us a list of what guns are too overpowered and why, too underpowered and why, and recommend changes to us. They need to hire consultants. It would, and with the Activision budget, by the way, they wouldn't even notice this. They probably spend more on fucking instant coffee for all of their offices than they would have to spend to convince someone as big as Symphony to be a consultant for them for 2 hours a month. Actually,
yeah,
they need to get people on board who play their game to point them in the right direction, at least. Because again, like you said, it is so obvious these people don't play their game. Why the fuck would you nerf the FR556? What are we doing? Where did you get this idea? From a spreadsheet alone is the only way you could logically conclude that gun needs a nerf. Just so obvious. So, anyways.
By the way, this new OTS, little different than I thought. RPM is actually good. It's 850. That's pretty damn good.
For an SMG, that's...
Oh, I guess that's not. That's probably still lower for an SMG. Regardless, time to kill that JGod has so far is 494 milliseconds. That's
Holy
pretty fucking
shit.
fast.
That's not pretty fast. That's busted. What? That's insane, dude. What's the RPM for a Milano?
I think that's average is 494. It's as low. Well, that's only if you're hitting headshots. It's 350.
Oh yeah. Okay. Then that's yeah.
So I guess it looks like the average time to kill that he's got is 494.
That seems balanced. That seems fine. How does that RPM compare to other SMGs?
I don't know.
I'll pull up the
I don't have a chart. It's not on there. That's all ARs.
Oh, it is? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So what's like the RPM of like an M13? Because that fires fast. 891. Okay, so 850 is fast.
Wait, what's 891? An M13?
Yeah.
That is pretty fast then.
So it is a very fast firing gun. RAM is 856, so it'll fire like a RAM.
Wow.
Okay, so that is different than I thought. But it has a small magazine too.
So that's upper middle fire rate for SMG. I think.
Yeah, that's like upper. Dude, AS Val, small magazine.
Interesting.
Is the Cold War AS Val?
Do you know if there's an open bolt delay?
I don't know. No, I just saw JGod's image. That's it. But that fire rate makes me think AS Val.
Yeah, similar for sure. I'm curious if there's not an open bolt delay, that gun's going to be really good, I think. Because that's definitely a serviceable fire rate with a pretty fast time to kill. Sub 500, even for SMGs, I think is pretty fucking fast. Because Cold War MP5 is like 4 something, I think, if you're hitting like only upper torso. So that's definitely competitive.
Yeah.
So it's going to depend also on the handling, how fast the ADS is, how fast your strafe speed is. But I am curious to get active with it, as they say, get outside the wire and get kinetic with it. So
yeah,
we will see. But thank you for the update. This dude, hell yeah. That was a great little fucking addition, dude. Anyways, all right, moving on. Tactical rifles. Tac Rifle Charlie from Cold War, which I believe is the new one. Wait, no, it's not. Okay, the first one is, I think, a semi-auto, and then it's a burst, and then a semi-auto, and I think the Type 63 is Tac Rifle Charlie in Cold War. I think. Headshot multiplier decreased 0.8 to 0.7. Can someone tell me what Tac Rifle Charlie is for Cold War, please?
I'm looking. Tac Rifle Charlie, supposedly the AUG.
The AUG, okay. It actually doesn't matter. Headshot multiplier decreased from 0.8 to 0.7. Don't care. Good.
Yeah.
Fuck burst fire weapons. Carve 2, multiplier, headshot multiplier 0.7 to 0.6. Cool. Was not worth using before, isn't now. M16 multiplier for headshots 0.8 to 0.6. Cool. Black Ops Cold War Sniper Op. So none of this matters. Tac rifles weren't worth using. They still aren't. Attachments. Black Ops Cold War Sniper Optics with 4x or greater magnification will now state that they have optic lint. Okay, that's fair. JGod made a video on this. We talked about it. And it's good that they'll be clear about that. Operators don't care. Store, skipping, and that's it. Okay. Interesting. So, Tanner, overall, what are your thoughts on this Season 4 Reloaded for Warzone patch notes?
The weapon balancing is okay. I just don't get why they nerfed a bunch of shitty guns. It's just more me complaining about it. Doesn't really matter because we weren't going to use them anyways. So it doesn't matter that they, I guess, nerfed them so much. But if anything, those guns should have all been buffed. I mean, they had to have just been looking at pure numbers, like you're saying, and like potential time to kills, and said, "Oh, we should do this to this gun," because they obviously don't play their game if they felt the need to nerf the FR556.
Clearly, yeah.
Right, or whatever gun that was, because the names are all messed up. But either way, so the weapon, I like them if they're actually trying to raise the time to kill. It's kind of apparent from this OTS time to kill that they're not doing that, though, of course, because that's probably the fastest killing SMG now.
Well, how many bundles are there for the OTS, by the way?
One so far.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Other than that, the new game mode, don't care. Just extremely disappointed still that we don't have a lighting change. And it makes me even more mad that more people aren't complaining about it. I don't know how. It's like people just have never played Rebirth and seen how much better it is. I don't fucking get it. Every single big Warzone streamer out there should be bitching on Twitter 5 times a day about how bad the visibility and colors are in Verdansk. I just don't get it. I don't get why they haven't changed that. It makes me furious. But I'm excited to get into this new SMG. This is a pretty big reloaded update. Biggest we've had in a long time in Warzone. Just because all these weapon changes and everything, so.
Okay, here are my thoughts. So, on the weapon changes, I am afraid that what is going to happen is the entire meta got shaken up, so no one knows what's good or what's bad. However, what remains unchanged is the FAR is still the best AR in Warzone. Unless the recoil got increased way more than the patch notes imply, then the FAR is still easily the best gun in Warzone. Therefore, there was a whole lot of effort in changing things that don't matter and won't impact your gameplay experience because the FAR is still what everyone will use. So this has been a theme with Warzone for the past, well, for Season 4, every subsequent mini patch, hotfix, and Season 4 Reloaded. We now have a running theme where these devs spend a lot of time and effort changing shit that doesn't matter. So if you do all this weapon balancing underneath the best gun, it doesn't matter, because guess what people use? Only the best gun. So if all you're doing to the Farah is slightly increasing the recoil so that it's still totally and completely usable, and changing a damage value by 1 fucking point, doesn't matter. I don't care if the AR meta is super balanced and healthy underneath the best AR in the game. Because guess what that means? Functionally, absolutely nothing. Because everyone's still going to be using the best gun. So then my experience is completely, exactly identical to what it was before. So unless the Farah got more recoil than they implied here, then none of the changes matter, actually. Now, when we get to SMGs, that's perhaps a little different. SMG meta did get shaken up. I am curious to see how that pans out. I don't know how that will pan out. Maybe the meta will still be healthy. Maybe it won't be. If there's a dominant SMG that is head and shoulders above everything else, then the SMG meta will be worse than it was before. Because the SMG meta before was perfect. It was just about as good as it could possibly be.
Yeah, I don't know if this could make it better. I think if anything, it is going to make it worse. SMG meta was very good before. You're right.
Yeah. So we'll see with the SMGs. I remain agnostic on that point. And if the SMG meta is just as balanced but it's different, that's fine with me. I'm totally happy with that. But if there does come a clear winner in the SMG category, then that'll be awful. It'll be way worse than it was before when we had a really healthy, diverse meta. ARs, looks like there's no meta at all. Looks like it's still going to be the Farah. So if that's true, then nothing changed with the game, actually. Cringe. And then we get onto other things that are not related to weapon balancing. What changed? We got a sentry gun that fucking sucks. Cool, nothing changed in my actual functional gameplay experience. We got high alert that counters dead silence, but high alert's not as good as ghost, so everyone's still going to run ghost, so absolutely nothing changed in my gameplay experience. Cool. Dead silence spawn rate is exactly the same as it was before, therefore nothing changed in my gameplay experience. And that's it. So cool. Season 4 Reloaded, nothing changed. Actually, nothing changed. The game is going to feel exactly the same as it did before. That is what I've gathered from this. What will be different when I play next time? Nothing, actually, right? Am I missing something? We're going to see Specialist a little more. Cool, man. Cool. And maybe people use fucking kill chain to get more harps and advanced UAVs to fuck my ass with.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if that'll be in it.
So
that'll
nothing
be very
changed.
Interesting.
So nothing changed. Nothing changed, and if it changed, it got worse. That is Season 4 Reloaded for me. Am I being an asshole? Am I the asshole? Or am I missing something?
Well, yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I mean, you're the asshole for sure. I don't know. I mean, these weapon changes sound like a lot on paper. I don't know how much I'll actually feel when we play, though. I mean, I feel like so many of these things, it won't even be a bullet difference to kill someone in most of the instances. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
This is still more than we've gotten in previous mid-season updates, though. That's for sure. I mean, what was the Season 3 mid-season update? Nothing? I don't think they had one. What was in that one?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember it being this ineffectual, though, actually. I mean, and if cheaters are just as bad now as they have been, by the way, if they had done a ban wave, they absolutely would have said something by now. So guess what you should expect? They ignored all of that again. Not only should you expect the same number of cheaters, you should expect more. You should expect more, because more people are going to be playing after a big new update, and there's no bans and no anti-cheat, because if there was, they absolutely would have told us. Trust me, they need that PR right now, but they didn't. So you're going to see even more cheaters by the time you're listening to this. So Warzone got incalculably worse. And nothing good changed with this patch. The only unambiguously good thing that changed with this, perhaps, is the addition of that new SMG. If the new SMG is competitive but not overpowered, then we have something new and fun to experience. That is the only silver lining I see with this patch. It's the only silver lining I see. So, holy shit. I mean, Warzone is in an awful position right now, as far as I'm concerned. Now, again, this was a lot of changes, and it is possible that I am totally wrong, because it is hard to predict how a meta will change when 40 guns got changed. So I could be wrong, but I would be very surprised if this felt largely exactly the same as before, except there's a new gun and more cheaters. But that's what I expect. So, yeah, cringe.
I mean, none of this entices me to want to play the game anymore again. I think at this point it just needs to be the Vanguard seamless transition. That's got to come, and it's got to be good. Or else
fucking hope so.
That's just the end.
I hope there's a new client for fucking COD 2021 for Warzone, but like you said, if they just added new perks, that becomes a lot less likely.
Yep.
That's a great point. And I think you might be right, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're not even, those new perks aren't even here yet. So it's like we have to wait more time to get those. Yep. So that may be in a month. So there's no way they're just going to chalk them.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Cringe. Super cringe.
I do think this is the beginning of the end for Warzone. I don't think it'll last much longer. I think by the end of the year, it'll be pretty dead.
It actually might be. They need to make drastic countermeasures. If they just fix cheaters, then the game would be fun.
Literally, yeah. That would make me care so much less about everything. But that's never going to be fixed because it's the same engine and it's not going to be fixed.
Exactly. I could deal with Warzone if it weren't for cheaters also fucking my ass all the time. I would be able to put up with it. I'd be able to grit my teeth and bear it. But like dying to Faras all the time and then also dying to cheaters, and it's just the same shit over and over and over and over. It's just exhausting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Oh, Luke the Bruce, what's up, dude? Good point. New ground loot. They didn't say anything about the ground loot, but they did change it, according to this person, which I think is probably true. I wonder what that's like. I think I was pretty happy with the ground loot last time, to be honest, before this update.
Yeah, the ground loot was good, actually.
Yeah. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Overall, I'm very unimpressed with this patch. I really hope that I am proven wrong and that this is actually going to be more significant of changes than it looks, than it appears. But I would be surprised if that were the case. But we'll let you know more on Saturday or on Saturday. We'll let you know more. We'll give you our kind of first impressions. But anyways, other than that, that's it for patches and changes. Tanner, do you want to take an intermish or are we ready?
No, let's just breeze through these.
Okay.
These won't take a whole lot of time anyways, so.
All right. Now moving on to news and upcoming changes. This is a big patch day, so there's not going to be too terribly much news. There's still a couple things to cover. Tanner, what do we got?
First article here from Charlie Intel. New Warzone glitch allows spectators to enter the gulag and kill players.
That's
so there's a spot
hilarious.
You can glitch, you parachute down into the gulag, and you can punch them to death. They see you, they can shoot at you, you don't take any damage. So the guy's name is N Trippy, change it. Ended up releasing a video on YouTube of how to do it. It's like 1.5 minutes long, so I watched it. I know how to do it if I wanted to. Which a lot of people get mad at that. I like that he does this because the more people that use these exploits, the quicker this gets fixed.
How do you do it? Give us the rundown.
It's just you get to this one. Oh, you just get to this one little spot above the gulag, like on the little overpass thing, like
by prison?
railing, and you kind of just look at this one angle and you just keep jumping, and then you just fall down into the gulag. No. This is when you're gulag spectators.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can kill gulag spectators when you're in there too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you just jump down in there as they're getting ready to queue up, and you punch one of them to death.
Hilarious. I should watch this video.
Yeah, so I'm fine with him showing that video on how to do it. Thanks.
I agree.
That means they'll fix that'll. That's something that'll probably be fixed pretty quickly if it's happening often. So, yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Any and all exploits, people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to share this because I don't want a bunch of people doing it." Wrong. You should share.
It's like
it.
then just you and your friends are the ones doing it.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. You should share it as much as you can. Make everyone do it so that the devs are forced to fix it ASAP.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you have like less people doing it for a longer length of time. And so that's not the solution. But yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
So yeah, next thing here. Remember last week we talked about that console hack that was coming?
Yes.
Well, Activision began taking down videos related to that cheat program, like Twitter, YouTube videos. And it seems that these cheats they've ceased development, because when you go to their cheat website now, it lists a little message. It says, "This statement was not required. However, at the request of Activision Publishing, I'll no longer be developing or providing access to software that can be used to exploit their games. My intent was to never do anything illegal." At the end of the video that brought so much attention to this project, it's stated, "Coming soon. The software is never published." This type of technology has other actual assistive benefits. For example, by pointing a webcam at yourself, you could control movement without the use of limbs.
Okay.
You are fake.
He's just saying there's no way that he's just trying to make himself sound better. He just made a cheat and he wanted to make himself sound better.
Absolutely.
Fuck you. Unfortunately, because of its potential negative impact, I'll not be developing it further. Damn, you don't think a controller aimbot, another version of a Cronus, would have a negative impact? Holy shit, you're fucking brain dead.
This person is exactly like you said. There is no chance he did not start, follow through, and complete development on this project thinking this and only this. Damn, I'm going to make a lot of money making a cheat. That was his only thought. And this is all backpedaling bullshit. No chance, no shot. So
I was trying to help disabled people. No, you weren't. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, he was making a cheat, and he's a disgusting rat piece of shit. And I will say, cool. If this is effective, then this is Activision doing something to combat cheaters. Now, will we still see console hacks? Probably. Because even if this guy doesn't do it, the fact is that this has now made it a public story in the zeitgeist that it is possible to implement hacks using a console. So now that people know that, there are a lot of fucking smart, nefarious nerds out there who want to make money. So they're going to think, hey, if this guy could make a console hack, I probably could too. This guy's got a fucking 190 IQ. He's been on a computer since he was 3 years old. And he's broke and unemployed and a virgin. Not that there's, well... and so he's gonna make a he's gonna make this public and make a cheat out of it. The cheat is coming. The Activision has done a good job postponing it, and that's great. And maybe they've scared other people from doing it because they don't want to get a letter from Activision's legal team. But if you're a Chinese corporation, Activision can't do dick all to you, so you'll make it anyway, and that is what will come. So cool, it's been postponed.
Cool, man.
Cool, man. Hopefully they postpone it for Warzone 2.0 and there's an actual anti-cheat, and then maybe that could combat it. But this is at best a rain check on that cheat. Yeah.
Yeah. But so cool, bro.
Not bad, though. I mean, yeah. We'll see it sooner rather than later.
And, here we go. Crazy. Another recent exploit. This was happening to big streamers where it was almost like they would get into hacked lobbies with cheaters, and all of a sudden, like, Nick Merckx started getting all these unlocks in the middle of his game, and he was level 1000, and he had dark matter, and he had, I'm pretty sure you could equip dark matter on Modern Warfare weapons. This was just happening out of nowhere to a bunch of people. Supposedly this was silent. Yeah, supposedly this was already patched silently by Raven and they didn't say anything about it. But the people that got that, I don't think it was reverted. So a bunch of people are now level 1,000 because of that. A lot of them never even intended to. It was pretty much like they got into a hacked lobby or something weird.
Yeah, one of them said like they died to a cheater, and then they just they killed a cheater, and then they just got level 1,000. Maybe Activision did this on purpose, and they were like, look, if you can help us with the anti-cheat by just killing them yourself, we'll just give you everything.
Yeah, hey, yeah. Black helicopters, there we go.
It could be an intended
Black
feature.
helicopters.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. So that's funny. We'll see if that's actually patched or not.
Yeah, I couldn't care less about this, but it's funny how quickly they fixed this exploit, by the way, because guess what this does? Cuts into their bottom line. And if you're getting camos without buying them, oh, absolutely not. Once again, let me remind you guys, how many times have you guys had issues with the Call of Duty store? I'm not kidding. I've had so many issues with this game. With MW multiplayer, MW Warzone, Call of Duty, or Cold War multiplayer, I've had a litany of issues with all of these things over 2 years. I'm talking 50 plus issues. 0 out of 50 plus issues have been related to the store. Every time I've wanted to buy a bundle, it has been fast, efficient, expedient, simple, seamless, pain-free, each and every time. When it comes to them extracting United States dollars from my account, there are no problems at all, ever, and it's fast as fuck. Never. The store has never glitched ever, once, ever. The displays have always been perfect. The interface has always been intuitive and fucking fantastic and well done and buttery smooth. Never, nary an issue once, ever, at all, ever, literally. I'm not kidding. 0 times. Have you ever had an issue with the store once, ever, Tanner?
No. Well, I've only bought things a few times, but no, of course not.
Good for you. But yes, of course not. So once again, what's important to these people? The store. That's fair. They're a corporation. Sure, the store should be their top priority. But let's give some of that diligence to the game. Or we'll leave, as many people have been doing. I've never played less Warzone than I have in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's just so replete with cheaters. So if I don't play the game, I'm not going to buy bundles. And I'm not alone, by the way. So figure it out, Activision. But anyway, yeah, I don't. The dark matter thing, I don't care. I don't know. Imagine if these people all get banned for using cheats, even though it wasn't their fault. I find that unlikely, but it would be amusing.
Well, yeah. I mean, they should be banned.
But, well, anyways, let's move on.
All right, next article here. Charlie Intel again. Warzone leak reveals plane could arrive with Season 4 reloaded payload mode.
You are fake news.
So according to Zesty, COD leaks change it. He doesn't get anything right. I'll say why in a second, why I'm talking about this, though. References to plane have been found in the files for the new payload LTM. It was like plane allied, plane. It was like weird things, like files that referred to airplanes. And so it's like, let me be clear. I do not care about this because it's not true. There's no way there's fucking airplanes coming to the payload mode or whatever, right? It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It's probably, if anything, like some weird like precision airstrike or something that flies over automatically. It's part of the LTM. Maybe that's kind of what I'm thinking. But Tom Henderson, of course, doubts this. But here's what he has to say. I'm not sure if they'll be in the Cold War integration, but definitely when Vanguard's World War II map comes around. He says definitely.
Planes?
User occupied planes, airplanes, aeroplanes. Like he had said a couple months ago, where COD is going to feel a lot more like Battlefield this BR. That's actually it for me. If there's planes and tanks in this, I'm done. I am not playing Warzone with that. Unless they somehow find a way to make it fun. I don't know how they would. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I really just don't understand it.
So, okay.
So that's fucking crazy.
That is awful.
That he's essentially confirming this.
What are... So yeah, if there are planes in payload, I'm with you. I don't care. But if there are planes in the next iteration of Warzone, I will absolutely care a lot.
Yeah.
However, what are the odds that we get as a plane just a passenger plane? Like a little Cessna with no weapons on it. If we got planes that were for transport only, like the helicopter in Warzone currently, cool. I'm on board with that. I actually like vehicles that don't have mounted 50 caliber fully automatic machine guns on them. I'm on board with those. Hey, great. More mobility, I'm always in favor of. I like helicopters. I like ATVs. I like dirt bikes when they're not entirely too loud. I like all of these things because more mobility is good for a big map. I'm on board with that. So if we get a little fucking Cessna or even a 757 airliner, I suspect that won't be coming to the game. I don't think it existed in World War II, but still, whatever. A plane. They definitely didn't, by the way. There were no jets. I don't think jets existed. A jet engine.
I think the Nazis had them. Germans.
Jets? Really? Jet engines? I thought they were all
They had
propeller
like one
based.
that was like, I think, being invented then. I think they
Interesting.
used it. It was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, I wouldn't put it past those fucking Krauts. I can say that. They're white. Anyways, I'm German. Relax. I don't know if I am. I think I'm a little German. We could pull up the 23andMe if an admin comes into the chat, but
Yeah, I don't think they were used. They did have a jet. First flight in 1941.
oh, okay. In any case, whatever. If there are planes that are just passenger transport only, cool. I'm on board. But if there are guns on them, then it's a disaster all of a sudden. What do you think the odds are of guns versus no guns on these planes if Tom Henderson's
If there's
correct?
planes, there's no way there are not guns on them. That's what I
Really?
thought. Yeah. Because why would they use a plane okay, think of World War II airplanes. They're all like, it's going to be like a fighter, like a one or two person
spy
fighter.
planes, though. Like spy planes have been in Call of Duty. And I know they're
Okay,
AI
but if it's
controlled,
Warzone, how are there going to be like 4 people in it? That's what I'm getting at.
Oh,
You know?
that's a
Like
good
how
point.
would that work if you're thinking it's going to be transport? So I don't know. I
ATVs
mean,
only 2
again,
people.
this is a leak. Tom Henderson was also convinced Ural Mountains was coming.
True.
He was one of those people. So I don't know. Feel like people put too much weight into finding things in the file that say certain words. Terminal, high rise. Remember that
True.
Modern Warfare 2019?
So totally
like
true.
so the word plane is in the files used in different ways. To me, that can mean plenty of other things. So I hope Tom Henderson is wrong. I absolutely know this dipshit Zesty's wrong, and there's nothing coming to the payload LTM, and fucking cringe for even tweeting that out and thinking that you're a moron. But yeah, I am worried about it coming to Vanguard.
I agree with you. I think if the evidence here is because the word plane is in like a data mine alpha or whatever, yeah, that could mean so many things. And again, we've been led astray by data miners finding map names supposedly in files. There was a list of 40 fucking Modern Warfare maps that were supposed to come to MW 2019.
Yeah,
That
in
never
the
came.
files, right?
Yeah, that were exactly in the files. And we were super excited about them because we were naive and dumb. I'll never be duped that way. You won't fool me again. Won't be fooled again? Call me a rolling stone, dude. I won't be fooled again, right? So that is one thing. And I'm kind of on that plane for this particular leak as well. I don't see planes in any capacity working in Call of Duty. Call of Duty has never had anything remotely close to a plane before. And the physics and the game engine and the programming and the development that has to go into like flying a plane, I can only imagine is incredibly intensive. Because think about what planes, like the whole physics behind the operation of a plane has to be super complicated. Even more so than a helicopter. In real life, the physics of a helicopter are more complicated than the physics of a plane. But in a video game, I think it's the opposite. Because there are like, I don't know. There's yawing, there's pitching, there's rolling, there's ascending, there's descending. You can't yaw in a helicopter, and you can't roll in a helicopter. So in real life, it's more complicated to use a helicopter. But in a video game, it's not. You don't have to worry about yaw. You don't have to worry about rolls. And putting a gun on it? No, I don't believe it. I don't think it's coming to Vanguard. I don't think it's coming in any capacity, to be honest. And if there is a plane in the next Warzone that can shoot bullets, it's not going to be well done. There's no chance it's well done.
No.
So it'll probably be overpowered, but it's going to be also janky as fuck. And it's going to be really a bad look. So I don't believe planes are coming. Yeah, I just don't believe it.
I don't think, and I hope they're not that dumb, but who knows?
I predict it won't, and I hope it doesn't. That's where
we've been wrong before with that.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And on top of that, Tom Henderson also said data miners have now found placeholder code/images to purchase Call of Duty 2021. That means within the Warzone files. As I mentioned at the beginning of the year, the plan is to reveal Vanguard via Warzone in August. So that's pretty damn soon.
August, yeah.
That's next month.
That is next month.
So expect next month a Vanguard reveal. We kind of talked about this before. If it's multiplayer, don't care. If it's some sort of reveal that shows stuff about Warzone, which it won't, that's exciting. But the multiplayer reveal, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever, don't care.
yeah. Coming in August is, I mean, good to know, maybe, if that's true. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. August sounds about right. And cool, man. But don't care, really. Yeah. I mean, we all know the game will be revealed at a time, and it'll be in Warzone. So, okay, now I know it's maybe in August. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have any thoughts on that, really. So.
Yep. Last thing here, not COD related. This is also from Tom Henderson again, because I called all of this. Crossplay is confirmed for Battlefield 2042.
True.
Current gen and PC is crossplay together. You can also opt out. So if you're on a PS5, you can opt out of crossplay versus PC, vice versa. Last gen is crossplay together. Last gen and current gen consoles cannot play together, which is exactly what I said. I was saying that. I said, if there's going to be some massive map, how is somebody using an Xbox from 2012 or 2014, whenever that one came out, how are they going to play on the same map as somebody with a fucking 3090 or somebody with a PS5, right? How can you load fucking 200 people on a map?
True.
For a game like Battlefield.
Dude, you did call it exactly.
That's what I figured too, and that's what ended up being true.
We both got some big predictions tonight.
Yeah, I think we talked about that when the Battlefield news first came out. I was like, dude, there's no way there's going to be crossplay with like Xbox 360 in that game. There's just no way.
Yep.
Not with 64 versus 64. There's no shot.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's interesting.
That's
I wonder
good,
if COD. I wonder if Warzone 2 would do that. I guess it wouldn't. No, they wouldn't do that.
No, because for Warzone
they would
they
never
won't
do
need
that.
To. Yeah,
that would actually probably kill their game,
and it would cut into their bottom line. Yeah. Now here's another thing, because when you had put that theory out there, one thing we talked about was, if there is crossplay, does that mean the death of the server browser?
Yep.
Because if PC can play with current gen consoles with crossplay, then either the server browser will be implemented for current gen consoles as well, which is certainly mechanically possible.
Oh, it's
I just-
possible.
I just find it weird that they would do that. Or there won't be any server browser anymore. What do you think it is?
No server browser.
Yep.
I think they're getting away from it. Yep.
I think so too. Certainly
Not
what
a
it
lot of
sounds
games
like.
that do it anymore. Not a lot of these casual shooters we get now. They just don't. It's like they think people are too dumb to find a server to play on. It's like people just want to hit play game, play battle royale instead of like looking through a server list.
Well, Battlefield 5 has that option. They
Yeah.
have an option where you just say play Conquest
Yeah.
or whatever, you know.
Yeah. And yeah,
And the
that's
server
true because it's
browser.
actually not real easy to find the server browser because I couldn't figure it out at first. I was like, where the fuck's the server browser? And you're like, oh, you got to go to advanced or something. I'm like, okay. Apparently advanced is being able to pick your own server.
Yeah.
Go figure,
yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah. These new frogs. Yeah.
I think this sounds like there won't be any sort of skill-based matchmaking though. If you can disable crossplay and last gen is on their own thing, current gen and PC are together. So I would imagine Battlefield won't have SBMM.
That's where I disagree with you, Chief. You can turn off crossplay. I guess it's only on PlayStation you can turn off crossplay, huh?
Yeah, you really can't turn off crossplay, not in Warzone. Yeah.
So PlayStation can turn off crossplay. No one else can.
I didn't think it actually does it though in Warzone. Does it?
I think it can.
It's been a long time since I've heard about that or talked about that. I don't know.
It's because all the streamers don't use PlayStations anymore. They're all on PCs now.
Yeah,
And if they are, then they can't turn it off anymore.
true.
So maybe that's why we're hearing about it less. I don't know. Because they're making just buckets of fistful
I'm
of
just
cash.
thinking with more like people on old gen Xboxes can't play with people on new Xboxes. So I just have a hard time thinking they're going to do skill-based matchmaking when the player base is going to be split like that.
Yeah, because last
There
gen
will
is in a different pool. Mhm.
There will also be way more people on PC and Battlefield turning crossplay the fuck off.
Oh,
I don't know if that also means what their crossplay means, if that's input based.
Yeah.
Because the Battlefield community is going to fucking mold because the Battlefield community has always been much larger on PC.
I think in general, most Battlefield players who are on PC use KBAM. Like if you look at Call of Duty and if you look at every Warzone player who plays on PC, for Call of Duty, obviously it's Warzone. I think the split from controller to KBAM is probably actually like 60-40 controller, even on PC only, to be honest, in favor of controller. But when you look at Battlefield, it's probably like 15-85, mostly mouse. Because that's just that community. They're just all KBAM players.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see, though. The landscape is changing a lot. And I think Warzone, with its crossplay, has set a new kind of bar for what future games should do in terms of crossplay and compatibility. And I think Battlefield's going to feel pressured to get on board with that and allow all the inputs and all the fucking PCs or systems, whatever, to play together. But it is interesting they're separating last gen, but like you said, it's not surprising because how is a last gen fucking actually, like literally a 2014 console is going to have to like play in a lobby that I'm capable of running. Like they literally, the machine couldn't do it. They're going to be relegated to different game
64 versus 64 with massive maps, destruction, all these vehicles.
Yeah.
It's just, it can't happen.
Yeah, agreed. So, yep. So, cool, man. Anything else, young Tanner?
No.
All right. All right. Boys and girls, we're at 3 hours and 47 minutes of recording. It's going to be a little shorter because we took a few breaks on your podcasting app, but we're fucking done. We're done. So, overall, TLDR, TLDL, if you skip to this part of the podcast, cool, I guess. That's pretty weird area to skip to, I'll be honest, but but this is maybe the only, well, whatever. I am woefully unimpressed and unhappy with every change to Warzone. The only thing that's mildly interesting to me is that there's a new gun, and that's going to wear off very quickly. It's either going to be balanced, which will be cool, but then there will be other options also, so okay. Or it's going to be overpowered, which will be bad. Or it's going to be not worth using, which will be bad also. And then every other change is awful. So cringe. This is maybe the worst season. This is the worst this is the worst ever season or Season X Reloaded patch we've ever gotten. That's on paper, that's how it appears to me. I mean, really bad. Either something made the game worse or it didn't change the way the game is played at all.
Yeah,
every change.
That is true.
That's actually how it looks to me. So
yeah,
really awful. I'm really sad to be here. I'm embarrassed that I have a podcast about this piece of shit video game, actually. And the fact that my brand, our brand, is associated with this absolute abysmal failure of an enterprise called Call of Duty it brings me shame. It brings me shame. And I feel sorrow that I'm associated with Call of Duty and that my life's work right now is associated with this game because it's awful. This is a terrible, terrible change. And who knows how many man hours were utterly wasted on all of these changes that don't matter. Who knows? Only Bobby knows. So fuck Bobby Kotick, fuck Raven, fuck Activision. Play your fucking game or hire consultants because all of these changes are so misguided that it is beyond comprehension. Just misguided changes. So other than that, cool. The podcast was fun though. And we'll make our own fun. The Dropshot Invitational number 3. Don't forget, bitches. We had the details. You can rewind for them. We will codify those rules and details for you. We will post them in the Discord. We will make sure you guys know and are kept apprised on those changes as we make them. So nonetheless, keep your eyes peeled for that. The Dropshot Invitational number 3 will be the most fun you have in Warzone until the next Warzone client releases. Absolutely. I'm actually positive of that. I don't think anything good is ever going to come out of Warzone until it's on a new engine, or at least a new client rather. I mean, we're too far gone. We're just too far gone. So that'll be fun though. Nonetheless, we'll make our own fun. And other than that, that's about it. Boys and girls, new Patreon app will be live. We got the free Patreon app, all that shit. If you wanted some bonus apps of this podcast, if you wanted to watch us torture ourselves by talking about this game even more than we do already in our Patreon bonus episodes, they're good episodes actually, I promise. Patreon.com/thedropshot. It's the best way to support the program. We are 100% funded by you guys. You make it possible for us to do 4-hour podcasts on a Wednesday evening. We couldn't do this without you. So we really appreciate all of our existing patrons. And if you're considering joining, listen to the recently publicized Patreon episode. See if it's worth your hard-earned dollars. If it is, once again, patreon.com/thedropshot. Follow us on Twitter. Join the fucking Discord. You can find links to everything on thedropshot.com. Your home for the broadcast. Other than that, boys and girls, that is it. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Really appreciated. Have an excellent evening. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember, stay humble.
Stay humble.